We are having so much fun, and we know you're going to love our next guest. His name is Tony Walker, and he is a comedy guy. Comedy cures everything. So.
Absolutely. I had cancer at the age of 32, and I do believe that the laughter and the positive attitude got me through it just as much as the medications did, which led to the comedy troupe that I run called Knockem Comedy. We do dinner theater, murder mysteries, game shows, kid shows. We're not stand-up or anything like that, just comedy shows, variety shows.
You go to restaurants and where else? Like theaters?
Restaurants, private parties, corporate events, fundraisers. Did I say fundraisers?
Fundraisers, firehouse.
Comedy shows, they're murder mysteries, they're audience participation. It's a scripted show because there's clues and hints that have to go out, but it's not a don't blink or you'll miss something. It's not Agatha Christie.
Right.
It's a comedy. It's lighthearted, but one of the characters does get killed,
right.
And then the audience has to figure out who did it and why. And if it's a private party or a corporate event, we personalize it to fit their event.
Now, do you ask the audience for help with the mysteries? Or
Yeah, they solve it.
All by themselves.
Based on what they saw during the show, we even give them a little section where they can interrogate the suspects.
Oh, that's
and,
fun.
So we'll deflect, deny, point fingers at other characters, but everybody makes the rounds throughout the whole room and talks to people.
The show is guaranteed. It's 100% guaranteed fun.
Totally.
Everywhere we go,
always.
everybody loves that show.
The audience they just get so involved, and there's just such a part of the show, and that makes it even better.
Other things that you do aside
Yeah,
from
we
mystery.
do game shows.
Oh, the game show, we have a podium with lights and buzzers and sounds, and it's basically
Like
a
a
trivia
fantasy.
game show, or it could be, again, we ad-lib with that too. So they may want a trivia game show, but if we show up and they're a loud, boisterous group and they're a lot of fun, we could ask them to do funny physical challenges or do some karaoke or whatever, or name that tune, whatever we feel like doing, and they'll be willing to do. We'll take it there.
What movie introduced the phrase, "There's no crying in baseball"?
What letter comes after A? Go ahead. B is correct!
Is there a favorite skit that you do that just still cracks you up every time you do it?
We do a lot of audience participation murder mystery shows, comedic murder mystery shows. And there's two shows. We have a mob show. We're in New York. You have to have the mob shows. And we have a redneck wedding, which is just
I have
it's
to
a
come
lot
see
of
that
fun.
one.
You're welcome
Yeah!
anytime. Anytime. In fact, I even
Well,
brought
growing
you
up
a
in
shirt.
St. Louis, Missouri, I have to say you did.
Oh, of course I did.
Hey!
That you will wear everywhere you go. In fact, I have a whole bunch there. I'm giving one out to everybody.
Everywhere I go. Okay.
That's right.
There you go.
Knockem Comedy.
Oh, that's great.
Can I
Knockem
pretend I'm
Comedy.
drinking something here?
Excellent. Yeah, you can pretend like
Thanks,
you're drinking something.
I'm having fun on the set.
We actually do put water in it when guests ask.
Just
we
not
do. But
this
if you
guest.
if you don't ask ahead of time, wait. This one's full of water. You ready? One, two, three. All right. There you go.
Johnny, you have a good time tonight or what?
Had an awesome time.
All right. KDC, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, all right.
conversation with me in your head because I didn't.
No, I did. I told
hear
you.
any of this. This is all like completely new stuff. So weirdo. I feel like you need to move over more because the thing's right in your face. $10 seconds.
This is Cubs Radio. Cubs Radio.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Knockem Dead Comedy Radio Show, coming at you live from Governor's Comedy Club, the legendary Governor's Comedy Club in Levittown. Thanks for joining us this morning. GovsRadio.com is the website. You can see our show there live right now. The Knockem Dead Comedy Radio Show, also brought to you by Two Eagles Auto Body. For more than 25 years, Two Eagles Auto Body has been the leader in auto body repairs and customer satisfaction on Long Island. Two Eagles Auto Body handles every type of auto repair, from custom applications and restorations to repairs involving insurance claims. So call Two Eagles Auto Body and ask for John Rossi at 516-328-2527. The Knockem Dead Comedy. Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. It is Friday. It is June 24th. We made it. We're here. Welcome to the Knockem Dead Comedy Podcast on Gov's Comedy Club Podcast. That's the name of the Facebook page. That's the name of the YouTube channel as well. But we are trying to push you guys to head over to the YouTube channel because that's where we'll be interacting with you guys. You guys can comment and say hi to us, and we'll say hi back. So go to Gov's Comedy Club Podcast on YouTube. We are coming at you live from Governor's Comedy Club, the legendary Governor's Comedy Club in Levittown, where tonight, this whole weekend, you will see Eileen Bremis. She is performing here this weekend. Mike Keegan will be joining our pal Mike. In the Giggle Room this weekend, Moody McCarthy is there tonight. Fat J and John Butera and Emily Santosis, Dan LaRocco, Joe Cravella, and more. That's tomorrow night in the Giggle Room. The patio is open tonight. Rocco and Travis roast battle with Kathy Arnold, Nick Tardo, and others. At the brokerage in Belmore, Tim Crompier this weekend. Great guy, great comedian. And McGuire's out in Bohemia. The John Butera birthday party with Rich Rader, Courtney Otera, Billy Geyer, and our very own Andy Plajanos will be there tonight. And tomorrow night, Andy Chang will be there. head on over to govs.com and make your reservations to see their full schedule for a lot of great comedy shows coming your way. And, of course, head on over to knockemdeadcomedy.com to see what we got cooking. July 22nd, you can see us performing our mob-themed audience interactive comedic murder mystery at Peppercorns in Hicksville. Go to knockemdeadcomedy.com. We got all the info right there. And if you'd like some more info on who we are and what we do, well, go to knockemdeadcomedy.com and find out what we're doing. If you're having a fundraiser, a private party, a corporate event, any kind of shindig, get in touch with us. We do audience participation game shows. We do murder mysteries. They're a lot of fun. Check us out. We'll hook you right up. And speaking of hooking you right up, if you're looking to do a podcast, any type of video or audio, we look at this great studio we got for you with lights and cameras and microphones and phones and Zoom capabilities and graphics, all sorts of good stuff. Joe DeJesu used to do a show in here, and we're going to talk to him about that because he's going to be in here soon. But right now we have Mark Klein.
Question for you.
Answer for you.
If I wanted to see Chevy Chase and Bill Murray together, where would I go to see that?
You would stream
here at Governor's?
You can come to Governor's. You won't see that here, but you can come to Governor's.
No, I want to see those guys here.
Well, then, you can come here and then go on YouTube.
Okay.
While you're here.
Fair
and
enough.
See it.
Fair enough.
I am like completely out of breath here. I was flying here to get here. We just did Mark Klein Show. Blues Warehouse, 90.1 WSB is the radio station. Blues Warehouse, great show. I've been a fan of it for a long time. I was thrilled to get there tonight.
We got 6 hours of material in 2 hours.
Yeah.
Do you really? You
and we could have kept going too.
We could have kept going. We should have kept going. I feel it would have been in our audience best interest if we kept going. So we continued over here.
We are continuing.
The only thing
here.
that stinks about this whole thing is my show ends at 10. Your show starts at 11.
Yeah.
I'm out in almost Montauk.
Yes.
You're out near the city.
Well,
so it feels like.
Well, I'm in your old stomping grounds. I'm in Massapequa.
Well, I'm talking about studio to studio.
Oh, yeah, true.
This studio's in Levittown. My studio's in Stony Brook.
Yes.
They're about 6 hours from each other.
It was quite the ride. And Andy Plajanos, who...
What's the fellow's name?
Andy Plajanos.
That's the guy that met you in our hallway?
Yes.
At my studio?
Yes.
With those signs?
Where was Tony the night of John Benet Ramsey's murder? And what was the other one? Tony does not have a leg to stand on. He should not be here. We walk out of the studio into the hallway, and there was Andy with these posters and a bidet, well, probably a bidet too, a beret, excuse me, and a cigarette hanging out of his mouth. He was a one-man protest that I should not be on that show. Laughed my ass off. I couldn't believe it. He lives right over there.
If I knew he was in the hallway, I would have invited him in. Right. We didn't know he was there until the show was over.
No idea. Walk into the hallway to leave, boom, there he is.
He stood in the hallway outside of the studio waiting to share that with you.
Laughed my ass off. And he said it would take like 35 minutes to get here. No, it took me like 45.
I told you it was 45 minutes.
Yeah, 45 minutes to get here.
I got here in 20.
Oh, you know what happened to me on the way here? I'm on the expressway. I see Bill Lifford.
Harmonica Bill.
And we're waving to each other.
The guy that he's the president of the Long Island Blues Society.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it. I did a double.
He shot us a message on our Facebook feed on my show earlier this morning.
Right. Yeah.
And you ran into him on the LIE.
I did.
What a small world.
Crazy, right?
Hey, Joe.
Now look at this.
Good to see you.
The big return. There he is.
These halls and walls, everything looks so much smaller now.
Well, we've redone this room since you were here.
I haven't been here since you've done this.
Since high school.
This is pretty cool.
It's like high school.
Yeah.
Going back to high school.
Come in a little closer this way. Yeah, come in a little closer to yes.
Oh.
With the mic, of course.
You got to move that over too.
Oh. There you go. You're a performer. You need a mic. Okay.
I don't see any guitars of yours.
They're in
the hall.
All
Yeah,
right, good.
Once again, I'm out of breath.
Good.
Understood.
We were just saying that too. We're out of breath. How does it feel to be back in this room?
It's great. It's
Yeah?
great. Yeah.
When was the last time you did a show in this room?
Before the pandemic. Right?
Yeah.
3 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, that's
3 years already. Jeez.
Yeah. Well, that's actually all right. So I got a beef with both you guys. We're gonna end up fighting. I'll start with you.
I like our
Fist fighting?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
We got 2-on-1. We got
I'll take you both. I'll take a leg off and start swinging.
4 legs versus 1.
Yeah, exactly. So we were talking on your show about Jam, and not once did you mention that Jam started in this room.
Well, I wasn't asked.
He asked how long you've been doing it. He asked about the show. You just we have all these great viewers. We did fundraisers.
I never said we have all these great viewers.
Hey, now I have a beef with you.
All right, let's do it.
Because I don't know if you're aware of this, but you have a voice.
I have a voice?
You have a voice.
An annoying voice.
You just sat there and didn't say anything.
Did I have to? I had to remind you?
I'll tell you one thing. Mark's going to have us both back now so that I can do that.
Yes, you can.
We got to have a
we're
sequel.
saying it now.
We'll do a sequel.
And my beef with you,
please.
I was promised Paul Rogers, and it never happened.
You know what? We're gonna have to play Paul Rogers now on your show.
Can
you push a button and make that happen?
I probably could.
Because it completely slipped my mind. Because we got so deep in heavy conversation and great quality music.
Absolutely, I would sacrifice Paul Rogers for that, man. Absolutely.
But I owe you a Paul Rogers.
You don't owe me nothing. All right, now here's my real beef. Why, when I go to your show, you got a ticket too? Why are we getting? Why are we getting parking tickets at Stony Brook parking lot? $30.
Can I go get it?
Now here's what happens.
Yeah.
Until that gets paid, you don't get your student transcripts.
Do I need this?
Damn it. No, you really don't need
That's
them.
what'll happen. In the parking lot that you were in, when you made the right into the parking lot, to the left is metered parking, which is where I needed you to go.
Oh.
It slipped my mind to share that part with you.
I think Mark just had us on to raise revenue for Stony
I
Brook.
think he's getting a cut of this. That's what I think.
Yeah, the $60 between the two of you, that's going to go a long way.
So, do they run the plates? Like, is this going to be on my credit report?
No. Right. Like I said, the worst thing that happens is first of all, I'm going to tell you how to fight the ticket and win.
Oh, okay.
You have to appeal on the website. Appeal it. You go on the website. You're going to go to appeal, and you're going to type in. I don't know if I should share this with the.
I type in your name.
No, definitely not. No, because you want to beat the ticket.
We should have the viewers do it for us. Both of us.
Oh, we should get Andy to go back and protest again.
You just say you were a guest on the radio show, and the metered machine did not take single dollar bills.
Oh, okay.
And they'll dismiss the ticket within 48 hours.
Easy enough.
That's how it gets dropped. But I'm going to ask you did you do yours yet? Did you do that yet?
No.
You said you were doing it in the parking lot, which is why I assumed that's why I assumed you were here late.
No,
I saw you on the phone. I assumed you were doing it.
No, that was just me.
Okay. You were probably calling the family or whatever.
Right,
okay,
right.
Social media, I get it. But that's what you have to do.
How terrible did I sound on Mark's show?
If you have a problem with the ticket, let me know, and my general manager will. Nobody's paying any money for the tickets. But that's the first thing I need to ask you to do. That's step one.
And Andy, he commented he didn't even get a ticket. So that's they didn't include you. You're not part of the club, Andy.
All right. So he's special. They probably felt bad for the signs he was carrying.
Yeah, he's special.
I know Tony was going to say that.
Yeah, he's special. So it might be probably 3 years since you've been here. That's crazy.
2019, right? Is that what we said? 2019?
Well, I mean, technically, we were still doing the show through Govs during the pandemic, but at my house.
Right.
And then when everything opened back up again, I had already spent $97,000 on home equipment. I'm like, what am I going to do? I got
I got to use this equipment.
Right.
My wife will kill me if I don't.
Well,
use
at that point too, the show became the
family.
Show.
Yes,
I mean, I couldn't
absolutely.
bring them here every Monday. You know what I mean? To do what we normally do here. So it's kind of
Well, we missed you, pal, and we're glad you're here now.
I can't believe that I haven't been back here since then.
Well, you figure March of 2020 was when it all shut down. I don't think you've been here since the pandemic. You definitely have not been here since the pandemic. We redid this room in the summer of 2020.
Yeah. Okay.
So, what did this room used to look like?
We were over there.
Well, this indentation right here, that was a wall.
Okay.
And there was a control room with 4 computers on this side and the studio on that side.
So you opened all this up.
We opened it up. We didn't need all those computers. We, advanced our technology a little bit. So we were able to spread it out. And we added the couch. We added all these monitors where you can see the YouTube feed.
Looks good. Looks good.
Yeah. This was nothing like it was.
No, this is great.
Yeah.
Now
I want to come back.
Now in the 40 something years Governors has been open.
Yeah.
I told you last time I've seen 3 shows.
Very bad.
And the 3 shows I've seen, I recall a girl coming around with a little table on her hand.
A tray
with drinks. Yeah, that's what it's called, a tray. And last time I was here, nobody came in here and did that. Are we anybody coming in here and do that today?
No.
Okay.
We're lucky to be in the building. I mean, we're like 5 feet away from dumpsters.
You almost couldn't get in.
I opened the door. I got attacked by a big pole that was holding
Yes.
the door open.
We got
way too much.
We got here at 1 minute to 11, and you're pushing buttons on the door trying to get in.
Yeah, pretty much.
But it worked. You finally got us in, and here we are. And,
Yeah, and I got to sneak in the back because they really don't. They have no idea that I'm actually here.
Who's the they you're talking about?
The owners.
People that run this place.
Yes, the people that run this place.
All right.
Yeah, every day. Like, you're still here? What are you doing? All right. So, again, Blues Warehouse, loved it.
Great having you guys on.
How did it
start?
Yeah, like what? Well, how'd you get into blues? Blues, which I loved. You were rattling off a bunch of blues-related shows that are happening this weekend on Long Island.
The Blues News at 9:00.
Which is nice because I didn't realize there was such blues-related things on the island. So I'm happy to say I'm a big blues guy myself.
It's 90% blues that I read. The Blues News every. I do mention. See, I've had a lot of musicians join me. We've talked about this. The volunteer work that I've done at Stony Brook.
Yes, I was going to get to that.
Musicians to play for the kids.
Yeah.
We'll touch on it now because when musicians contact me that have participated in my music therapy program and say, "Oh, I have a gig this weekend. Can you promote it?" My answer is, of course, even though they're not blues. I've had kids on my show that have beat cancer. They got to ring the bell at the cancer center indicating that they went into remission.
Nice.
Then they come on my show, and I've got kids 12, 13, 14 years of age that want to play Taylor Swift on my show or Bruno Mars or very non-blues related songs because that's what they listen to, and they beat cancer and they're a hero on my show, and I'm going to play whatever they want.
Absolutely.
Now, if I get an audience member that tunes in late to my show and they hear Taylor Swift or Bruno Mars, I'll get a text going, "What the hell is the crap you're playing?"
Exactly.
And I'll go, "If you were here 5 minutes ago to hear the story about the little girl that almost died twice, and now she's alive and she rang the bell, she's in remission, and her story is to be on my show and play whatever the hell she wants." And now all of a sudden, like, oh my God, play all Taylor Swift all day long. I'll buy her Bruno Mars tickets, whatever she wants to do, please. And my audience gets very receptive to it, as long as they hear that portion of the story when I get to tell those
this morning
stories.
doesn't know shit about the blues. I can tell you that.
Right. It's an acquired thing.
Blues Clues, maybe.
Blues Clues. There you go. Well, that was the original question. Because the Long Island blues scene, while existent, it's not, unfortunately, terribly popular.
Long Island's not a big blues town.
Right. So how did it begin for you?
I have 35 years ago, I worked a job with a friend of mine that was a drummer in a blues band. And he played in a popular blues band on Long Island called Little Buster and the Soul Brothers.
Yep.
And he was in another band called Blue Ruin. Mm-hmm. And he still played with Buster, but he played primarily with Blue Ruin, a band that he was a founding member in. And he'd say to me at the job, "You got to come see my band. You got to come see my band." And I'd go see the band. They played in a dive bar in Bayshore on a Friday night. But the band was amazing.
Little Buster was fantastic.
Little Buster was fantastic. Blue Ruin is fantastic.
Yeah.
So the guy, if you were there for the very beginning of my show today, you hear that Blues Brothers bit.
Yeah.
106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's night, and we're wearing sunglasses. And then Belushi says, "Hit it," and then you hear this blues guitar riff, ba-na-na-na-na-na-na, into about 45 seconds of this great. That's Scott Ross from Blue Ruin.
Oh, okay.
He gave me one of his songs to use as my intro 25 years ago, which has been the intro to my show, a staple to my show.
Yeah.
Scott Ross is in that band. That the drummer, my friend I used to work with, said, "You got to come see my band." I fell in love with this blues band. So I've always known of Clapton and Hendrix and B.B. King and Buddy Guy. I've known of these Etta James. I've known their music. I wasn't a passionate fan with that music, but I was a fan. After seeing this local Long Island band called Blue Ruin, this buddy of mine, Frank Anstis, the drummer, who told me to come see his band, I fell in love with it. And then I booked a couple of shows for the band. I took it upon myself to book a few shows for the band. I knew a couple of club owners, and I got them dates, and I tell Frank at work on Monday, I go, "Listen, I called this place and I called that place, and they're interested in hiring you guys." And after a couple of shows I booked for them, they asked me if I would manage them.
Oh, nice.
So I started managing the band, and then friends of theirs would say, "Hey, you manage these guys, would you work with us too?" Now I've got a small management company. That's Frank Anstis that just called me.
You want to take it?
I'm telling a story about Frank.
Put him on.
Why not?
Put him on
Frank,
speaker.
Frank, you there?
Yeah.
Listen,
Just woke up.
Frank, I have you on speaker. I'm doing a video podcast show right now at Governor's Comedy Club in Levittown, and you're on speaker with about 6 cameras going right now. I'm telling a story right now about you on how I learned about the.
I'm in the fucking hospital, man. I don't want anybody that's fucking sick. I'm sick. I'm fucked up. Last night, my brother had to take me to the hospital. I was there 4 fucking hours, and they.
This is Little Buster's drummer telling the story.
Yeah, I knew Buster. I used to be close with one of Buster's sons, Timmy.
One of Buster's sons, Timmy. Yeah. That's right. That's right. Frank, well, listen, you're on 6 cameras right now, dropping F-bombs.
Fuck that. Fuck the cameras. I'll talk to you later.
Well, I'll call you when the show's over. He's not happy. He's not happy.
Well, this is awkward.
I'm over it already. I'm already over it. The awkwardness lasted half a second for me.
Wow.
He was one of my best friends. He was in my wedding party 15 years ago, and he's one of my dearest friends. And
Get well.
He is.
Hope you're all right.
He is
in the hospital.
It's publicly known that he's got a mass on his liver. He's got a cancerous mass on his liver.
Sorry to hear that.
Oh man.
He's had 15 chemo treatments in New York City. He's one of the best drummers around. He really is. And I'm not saying that because he's my friend. He's seriously one of the best drummers out there. It's just amazing that I was telling a story about him and he just called me and you're like, pick it up. Pick it up. And he's like, fuck this.
I didn't know you'd be mad about it.
But he's not feeling good. He's really not feeling good. I spoke to him yesterday and he was like throwing up. He had a bad day yesterday. Now he's in the hospital apparently. I'm supposed to pick him up tomorrow to take him to, Sunday, to a musician on Long Island, a blues musician named Joe Vicino.
Oh, sure.
You know the name?
Yeah.
Joe died not too long ago. A few months ago, and they're having a tribute to him this Sunday at a place called the Wild Rose in Farmingdale off New Highway.
Okay.
And Blue Ruin, the guitar player I just mentioned, Scott, lives in Florida. He's on Long Island right now. Frank was going to sit in with his original band members, and they were going to play a few songs at the thing for Joe Vicino.
Okay.
So he's calling me right now to probably tell me I can't make it.
Well, let's hope he can still get there.
I just put him on the spot, and now he's not, because he's sickly. He's really going through a hard time. He's got less good days than bad, unfortunately. He's really going through a hard time right now, and our thoughts and prayers are with him. I'm going to actually go out to his house. I was going to go to his house today, but he's in the hospital, probably in Oceanside. So.
Right. Well, and you guys touched upon it on your show before. Music and just a positive attitude in general really helps at times like that.
And by the way, normally he loves being put on the spot like the way I just did.
Right.
But that, to show how negative he just was, indicates how bad he's going through a day today.
Right.
So my heart is really, normally he'd eat that up and he'd be like telling jokes and, oh, how funny, and by the way, while you have me on the air, and he'd tell a joke and, he'd tell a funny story.
Right.
He wasn't in the mood to do any of that just now, as we heard.
Of course, yeah.
That shows how rough a time he's really going through right
All the
now.
best to him.
Absolutely,
all the best to him.
Absolutely. But anyway, it's his band. To make a long story longer, how I got influenced into finally growing a strong passion for blues.
Right.
And when I learned about the talent on Long Island, I just fell in love.
There is a lot of talent on Long Island.
Amazing. We're so enriched with talent.
Yes.
And not just blues. Between the blues acts, the original acts that are not blues, the tribute acts, you know, the Chicago tribute, the Billy Joel tributes, the so many different tribute bands.
Yep.
And not enough venues on Long Island for them all to play.
Right, agreed.
I used to manage the Good Rats back in the 90s, and one of the things Pepe Marcello asked me then, trivia question, back in the 90s, mid-90s, he said to me, if you had to guess how many venues there are on Long Island between the shithole dives with just the dartboard to Nassau Coliseum and Westbury Music Fair and Mulcahy's, how many would you guess? If you had to take a guess in the early to mid-90s, either of you, take a wild guess. This was a question.
100.
Yeah, I was thinking around 100 too.
3,300.
3,300?
3,300 bars existed on Long Island in the 90s. From the shithole pubs with just a dartboard, maybe a pool table if they were a little bigger, to the mid-size to the big rooms like Mulcahy's.
What about now?
A fraction.
Yeah.
A fraction.
Yeah.
Probably less than 500 if I had to guess now.
Right.
But it was 3,300 then, and Pepe's goal was to hopefully play at every one of them.
Wow.
Which he
he came close.
He came close.
The good rats are everywhere,
Before he passed
man.
away, he came close. Absolutely. Yeah. But yeah, I was blown away by that number, 3,300.
Andrew Fremder, my wife knows exactly who gave you the ticket. She works at the FedEx on campus. She said the guy's a heavy douche. That's awesome.
And that's the Friday guy.
I like that.
That's the Friday guy.
Heavy douche. I like
Heavy
that.
douche. That's a band name right there. Ladies and gentlemen, Heavy Douche.
At least an album.
Heavy D. Isn't Heavy D a rap guy?
Sure.
Heavy D, and that's probably the full name.
Well, that you got to save that for Rap Warehouse. I don't.
I'll give that to someone else. I got enough on my plate with the blues.
Right.
But yeah, the blues, the talent on Long Island, it's incredible, and I've been blessed and honored to work with almost every blues band there is on Long Island with my shows, and so many other musicians, non-blues, with all the other things I get to do on Long Island.
Sure.
It's been a blessing.
Which and again, we're gonna get back to the charity work in a second.
Please.
Let's let Joe chime in a little bit.
Get me to smell your finger now.
No,
it's supposed to be pull my finger.
Right.
Yes.
He put so people don't understand what we're talking about. There was a picture of these two with Joe with his finger, and the caption was, "Why does Tony always want to smell my finger?" And my comment was, he doesn't want to smell it. You're supposed to pull your finger, so you can do what?
Well, I need one of these chairs because it looks like you guys are about to fly into space. How come I don't get one of these?
Captain Kirk.
Yeah. How come there's only 2 of these in here?
Because there's not 4.
Okay. Well, there's your answer.
Like a roller coaster.
There's your answer. Feels great on the old back.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Do you want to switch? I'll give you mine.
No,
he's the baby in the crowd. He doesn't have an issue.
He
with
is
that.
the baby in the crowd. You're right.
So
yeah,
you should be
absolutely.
okay with the chair.
I'm good.
Us old timers, we got back issues.
I know. I understand.
Did I haven't talked to you in a few weeks probably. Did you happen to see who I shared a stage with about a month ago?
Oh.
Can I guess?
Oh, no.
You did see it?
Yes, I did. I didn't see it, but I saw the post.
Oh, okay.
Now, how? What?
Chevy Chase.
What?
Bill Murray?
What's going on with
I love those guys.
Oh, they are. They're Bill Murray. I'll take Bill Murray way over Chevy Chase.
Those guys hate each other for decades. I'm sure.
Supposedly they've kind of eased up a little bit with each other through the years.
Because they're almost 100 now.
Well, true.
It's time.
Yeah. Although I would still pay to see them fight.
Have you ever
now.
met either of those guys?
No.
Can we? You know how we can?
No.
All right.
The biggest name I've had in here, well, actually, it was only on Zoom, was Kevin Pollak.
You've had Kevin James in here, haven't you?
Not on the air,
okay.
But Kevin James did hang out in here hang out. It was like maybe 10 minutes. He sat in here with us for a few. Yeah, just
Kevin
talked.
Pollak's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that one.
Did he do Captain Kirk?
He did.
Very cool.
Yes, he's the best Captain Kirk going.
Really good.
And then in the music world, we had Bill Champlin from formerly of Chicago.
No kidding.
Which we had a great time with him.
Oh man, I would have loved to see that.
That was one of my favorites. Billy J. Kramer, Billy.
Now, are these planned guests or guests that just walked in?
No, these are planned. Okay. These are all planned. Walk in. We had.
You've had a few surprise.
We've had a few surprise walk-ins. Adam Ferrara, Dice just gave us a quick wave
at the window here.
Yeah, the door was open, so he just kind of did a quick wave, and then he kept going. Anthony Cumia from Opie and Anthony.
Opie and Anthony.
He stopped in here one night and spent the same thing, probably about 10 minutes or so with us.
Nice.
Joey Cola stops in regularly. I got 2 lines at the same time.
Can we get Joey Cola in here today?
I wish we could, actually.
If that's him on the phone, could you ask him to come in?
He's called in before. Hey, you're live on the air. Who's this? Okay, good.
Morning, Mr. Richard?
Yes, that's me, Mr. Richard, yes.
Wonderful. So this is Mike, and I'm calling you to inform some changes regarding your vacation property, your timeshare property.
Which one?
Okay?
Which one?
Sir, Westgate Vacation Resort.
Westgate?
Uh-huh. Actually, sir, this is regarding like all the timeshares you own right now, but yeah, I have a name here, Westgate.
Yeah.
And I'm calling, yeah.
Well, I'm staying in there right now, and I got 2 girls on the bed with me here. What's the problem?
All right. Actually, sir, we have some changes regarding your timeshare policy.
Yeah.
So The first one I have is a new make.
All right, I'm done with that.
Wait a minute. I was gonna say, let me get my credit card so we can fix the problem. I can't believe we got one of those calls.
Oh, we get them all the time.
That was
unfortunately.
cool, man. That was cool.
One time we got one.
That was cooler than my sick friend that just called.
I'm surprised the guy wasn't in the middle of surgery when he called.
We had one call one time, and Sallie was in here too. So the guy was telling her that she owed money to something. I forget what it was. But we had a few guests in here. So we had one of the guests pretend to be her husband. He starts yelling at her for spending more money, and then we started going like this. The guy got all upset. He starts yelling, "I'll call the police!" Like, you're going to call the police of all people? You're the one running the scam, and you're calling the police. He starts yelling and cursing, and then he actually said to Sallie, "Don't worry, everything's fine with your account. Everything's fine." And he got off the phone.
No kidding.
Yeah.
A scammer that had a piece of a good heart.
Just a little bit, yeah.
I saw on Facebook a few months ago a sheriff in the sheriff's department on his phone taking a call from a guy that talked like that, a Pakistani, from the IRS. saying to the sheriff, not knowing he was talking to a sheriff in his uniform in the police station, on the phone with cops all around, saying, you owe money to the IRS, you must make the payment now.
Oh yeah, and
or
gift cards, right?
or the police are coming within 45 minutes to arrest you. Right. And the cops are all laughing, trying to keep serious like you just did.
Right.
To keep the scam going. And finally the laughter just got too strong and the guy realized the scammer was being scammed and he hung up.
Oh, that's great.
But it was great. It was fucking great.
Trying to keep those guys on the phone for long enough to.
You know, it's funny. I'm dropping F-bombs in here, and I'm so.
You're allowed.
I'm so hesitant in doing so because I'm so trained with 27 years on the radio, not being able to say it kicks ass. Never mind.
You have a wholesome,
that.
thing going. Where here, where there's no class here at all.
I get to show another side of me here today. I like it.
So anyway, I did. I got to share the stage with Billy Joel.
Did you get to talk to him?
No.
No.
I was. It was weird because I was kind of hoping to, but at the same time I wasn't because the night wasn't about him. Right. So I was glad he ducked out just as the whole event was ending. I mentioned to you on your show I went to Hicksville. Billy Joel went to Hicksville High School. Carrie McQuaid went to Hicksville High School.
Sure did.
Lorraine Bracco was from Hicksville, and Frank Walker.
And Frank Walker. That's the big name of them all.
Exactly. That's why I saved it for last. So we all had the same music teacher. And this music teacher was the one that kind of pushed Billy into becoming a professional musician.
Really?
And they redid the high school. They spent millions on their auditorium, and it's got the latest technology. It's revamped. It really came out well. And they decided to name it after this teacher. So they had a whole big ceremony, and this teacher, he retired 30 years ago. He's 90 years old, but he came in, and they asked a bunch of people to speak. And I was fortunate enough to be one of them, so I gave a little speech.
What'd you say?
As good as he was, he could do nothing for me. That's what Tony said.
That's what I said. Actually, no, I actually said the opposite. Because, I'm not a music guy. That's Frank's thing. But I talked about, I'll try to make this as short a story as possible. When I was in my senior year of high school, and we were doing the musical, which we did Anything Goes, we went around, at the time, Hicksville had, I think, 7 elementary schools. So we went around to the elementary schools to perform the musical numbers for the students, for the kids. And we didn't bring the big orchestra or anything. It was just this one teacher on the piano, Mr. Arnold, Chuck Arnold is his name. And he would just be him on the piano. And I'm not a music guy, and I'm not a fan of my singing voice. I'm very uncomfortable singing in public, so this was a big deal for me to sing in public. And my song is very comedic, thank God, so I was able to sing it bad on purpose. But I'm up there, and the first time I'm doing this in front of people was at one of these elementary schools, and Mr. Arnold started improvising on the piano and messing with me. So I had to kind of keep up with him and work with that. And then with each elementary school, he was doing it more, and I was, messing around on purpose, following him. But that taught me a lot about comic timing and improv and working an audience. And the kids, they loved it. So he actually did. He was kind of instrumental with getting me going a little bit with performance. So
I heard great things. Yeah, I mean, every time you hear the name, he's got a great reputation.
Right.
Obviously, for Billy to go back and say how Billy's said many times how important.
Right. And he's shown up at a few things for Mr. Arnold. He when Billy went to Russia back in the 80s, with the whole Cold War thing coming to an end, he brought Mr. Arnold with him to that.
Oh, I didn't know that. Wow.
one of the times I've met Billy, I of course bring up, and he goes, "Oh yeah, he was just at my house last week," stuff like that. So, and he's actually done some work on some of Billy's albums. So yeah, it was really cool that it was nice for him to show up. So, but I've been joking that I was his opening act because I did my speech, I finished. 30 seconds later, there's Billy on the same stage, talking as well. But
that's really cool.
Yeah, it was cool. It was nice of him to do it. But I'm glad he left because I didn't want it. The night was about this man who the theater's being named after. I didn't want it to become everybody, swarming Billy Joel.
I'm sure Billy didn't want that either.
Right, and he did. He left 30 seconds before the whole thing was ending, and yeah, he was gone. But I did. I thought about all the Billy Joel heads out there, including yourself.
Very jealous.
Yeah,
very jealous.
Which actually, and again, the power of music. I mean, that's how we met. We met at a Del Judas gig.
Did we?
Yeah, at the Iridium.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
You yelled over because you knew Frank. You yelled over to me, and I even said to you, "I don't know who you are, man." But yeah,
that was a great show.
It was a great show. Yeah, and we've become tight friends.
That was the Deep Cuts show.
Yeah, right.
So all the real Billy Joel heads were there.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes, we are. I don't know if that's something to be proud of. I don't know.
Absolutely.
I came this close.
Did you?
To getting.
Oh, there's more.
To getting. I came this close to getting Billy Joel to come to Stony Brook Hospital to play for the kids.
Right.
So he has an assistant named Kerry, who I have Kerry's email. And when I spent my 7 years running this music therapy program at Stony Brook, bringing all these great musicians to play, Del Judas was one of the first guys I brought up to do it.
Sure.
And
very charitable guy.
And he would bring Tommy Burns with him, Billy's guitar player.
Wow.
Of 26 or 28 years, whatever it is now. And so
32.
It's 32 now?
31 or 32, something like that.
Okay, it's over 3 decades now. God bless. So I would send Carrie a message going, I'd like to invite Billy to come join me on the pediatric floor at Stony Brook to come play for the kids. She would respond 2 or 3 days later saying, I just spoke to Billy. He says no now, but ask us again down the road. So 3 months later, I would send her another message, and I would get these nice friendly rejection emails back for 2 years.
Yeah.
One day I get Del Judas and Tommy Burns to come. They come up every 6 months to do this.
Nice.
So I get them up there, and there's a child in the PICU, the pediatric intensive care, like a 12 or 13-year-old little girl. She's got weeks to go before she's at the end. Her mother is a cop from New York City, and they're big Billy fans. And while Del Judas and Burns are at the door playing to the child into the room, the mother pulls me down the hall and says, look, if my kid's got a month to go, we're lucky. Is there any way you can get Billy to come spend a little time here and play for my kid for a little while? We have our own keyboard at the hospital. All you got to do is show up, use our keyboard, 88 weighted key, whatever the hell, Yamaha 88 weighted keyboard with built-in speakers on a cart on wheels. All you do is plug it in and you can play at the door for the kid. Just show up and do it.
Yeah.
So I spoke to Tommy Burns about this. I go, I've been trying to get Billy up here for 2 years, and I keep getting Kerry's emails. Not now, but keep trying it. Billy would rather write a check than look at a sick kid in the hospital.
Sure.
So Tommy Burns pulled me in the hall and said, send Kerry an email. Here's what I want you to say. And he told me specific things to say to Kerry to get Billy to do it. Quote Tommy. Tommy said this, Tommy said that. I don't remember the specific things, but he told me specifically what to tell Kerry. So this was on a Friday. So Kerry responds to me Friday night and says, Billy's out of the country. He's going to be back Sunday. Can he come Monday morning and do it?
Nice.
He'll meet you in the lobby at Stony Brook, and he'll come up and do it. So I said, absolutely. So I tell my supervisor, they tell the people in public relations with the hospital, not too many people, because they don't want hundreds of staffers, swarming the pediatric
paparazzi,
floor
sure.
While he's there specifically to play for one child. Sunday afternoon, Kerry sends me another email. I want to confirm that Billy's going to meet you at 9 a.m. tomorrow in the lobby. He's going to be wearing a trench coat and a hat. Just bring him up quietly in the elevator and bring him up to the floor, have the piano set up, and he'll spend 30 minutes playing for the child. And I said, okay, that sounds good. I responded an hour later with tears pouring down my face. The child just passed away. So that's how close I got to Billy actually coming up to the hospital to play for one kid. And he missed the window by a few hours.
I'm too depressed to do this show.
Really, I'm sorry to take the wind out of the sails.
It's Friday!
I don't mean to take the wind out of the sails, but we were talking about Billy, and that's my Billy story.
Well, it's a good story. It's sad, but it's a good story.
It's a bittersweet kind of thing.
Well, recently I saw, because School of Rock in Huntington was doing a show, and I saw that they had posted Billy showing up on his motorcycle to watch their performance.
Oh, no kidding.
Performance recently, yeah.
Oh, really?
He does that type of stuff all the time. I've
Yeah.
seen videos of him sneaking into auditoriums to
Yes.
watch. Right,
And he's involved in that arts high school. I don't know what it's called, but
is that the one in Syosset?
yes,
Okay.
yes, because I know he shows up there. So he might even. I think he's throwing some money into that place.
Oh, really?
I think. Yeah, I think
Wow.
so. But yeah, so that's cool. He gives back and stuff.
Absolutely.
All those guys. I mean, you'd be really. I can remember. Here's my story, but it's not about Billy. It's about the guys who play in Billy's band.
Yeah.
So obviously Tommy plays with Mike for big shot gigs.
Right.
So one of the gigs that I was on at the Paramount, I got Mike to my left, right to my left playing piano, and I got Tommy right to my right playing guitar. And we're doing a sound check, and we're going over a couple of songs, and I'm just saying to myself, I can't even believe that I'm here right now, that I'm playing with these, you know, unbelievable, and
amazing performers.
And they just make you feel like, you know, everybody's the same. You know what I mean? They're it's
Very-
so cool.
very
Very
humble
humble.
guys.
They're playing MSG one day, and then the next day.
Yeah.
You know, and the look at I think we're doing River of Dreams, and Tommy's giving me a harmony to sing, and I'm like, I can't even listen to what the words that are coming out of his mouth or the notes that he's trying to tell me, because I'm like, Tommy F. and Burns right now is telling me a part to sing, you know, and Mike's telling me another part, and it was just such an and to go through things like that is just.
And how's that happen? Because back in the day when you were still, you know, one of us, when we had you in this small room, you know, and we helped you, you know, build that audience.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah,
what?
yeah.
Is that what led?
Yeah.
What, like? How did you know Mike? Was it through the music scene? Did you like? And how did?
I mean, of course,
you
I've known Mike. You know, I've known of Mike for a very
Right.
long time, being on Long Island. But I actually met him at a poker game.
Really?
How long ago?
Yeah. Geez, I don't know, 7 years
That's
ago,
it?
maybe 6, 7 years ago.
You know, watching you guys together, like doing you did some of his port shows. You did a few of his port shows.
Yeah.
In his mobile home. I think you guys did one.
Yeah, yep.
You went to his house down in Florida. You did a little golf, and then you guys did a show together. In his back porch thing that he does.
That's, you know.
I think you guys knew each other for 30 years.
Well, it feels like that because he and I, you know, sometimes just connect with. We have a
Yeah,
lot of
sure.
the same interests. We both play golf. We both play poker. We both play music. We both bowl. We both have a very similar sense of humor. You know, we quote movie quotes all the time.
He's got a
And
great sense of
he's got
humor,
yeah,
that guy.
yeah. You could just laugh
Oh
with
my
him
God.
24. It's just positive to be around, and I think it's, you know.
He was once getting surgery for something, and he actually took a picture of himself and texted it to me while he was on the table.
He did a Facebook Live in the hospital.
Yes.
Canceling a show, explaining that I'm stuck here in the hospital.
Yeah.
He's got the camera like.
Do you know
here.
why he was in the hospital?
I don't remember.
I'll tell you why. Because for the 3 hours before that, he was helping me set up my home studio to do my show. This
You
is the kind of guy he
son
is.
of a bitch
So I,
you
you know,
are.
he was.
He got hurt setting up
yeah,
your studio.
Well, he was helping me remotely, and he was staring up at the screen, and then I think he got like some sort of, you know, vertigo and some type of other things, and I felt horrible. Yeah,
It's
I
not
mean,
your
it was.
fault.
It is my fault. It was my fault that he was. Yes, it is.
He was trying to take him out. I'll sing in Billy's band. I'll take this fucker out.
Right.
Yeah.
Didn't work.
No, yeah.
Almost.
Good try. Good
Now-
try, man. Good college.
Now,
effort.
when he lived up here, I was at his house once. Actually, we actually me and a couple of guys.
Rocky Point.
Yeah, we raided his house during a porch show, and but we hung out after. And you've been to his Florida house. So how many times did he come on to you? Because I can tell you stories from being at his house in Rocky Point. I mean, he's a dangerous, perverted, scary man.
After a few drinks,
It doesn't matter.
could be sober.
Yeah, yeah, he doesn't.
What's
he
the
doesn't
answer,
care.
Joe?
Yeah.
You know what happens in Florida stays in Florida. You know.
Fair enough. Next question.
Good answer, Joe.
Next question.
But no, it must be seriously. It must be fantastic to like playing places like the Paramount. Like, holy shit! I feel like a proud uncle when I see your post. Like, tonight is the night, and then there's 100 Marianne Stone photos.
You know, I've been doing music since we were talking about this on your show. I started young, and then went to law school, and really kind of just gave up the whole thing. And then
You took a hiatus from music.
I took a hiatus. You know, got married, had kids, all that stuff, and then
learned law.
Yeah, I wish I could unlearn it, give it back. But it was really talking to Mike at these programs and becoming close with Mike, and you know that he was like, you got to get back into music. You got to start playing again. You got to do this. You know, why don't you come open for me at the Paramount? And that's kind of how it all
unbelievable
unraveled. Yeah. Got me going.
Great beginning for you, man. Great beginning.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with
talent though?
Oh, without a doubt. Route 110 or the Fascino brothers? Do you know those guys?
Tommy and
Paulie.
Well, Tommy is the father.
Tommy's he
the
plays
drummer,
he plays in the Santana
played in a few blues
band.
bands.
Right. But yeah, and currently in the Moonflower Santana tribute.
Okay.
Great. And
what's the name of the Santana tribute?
Moonflower.
See, I'm familiar with Milagro.
No, they don't count. We're talking about Moonflower because Tommy Fascino's in it. So we got to talk
Great
about
drummer on Long Island.
Yeah. And now
his wife's a great photographer.
She's
Susan.
from Hicksville. I grew up with her too.
Very nice.
Great people, but I bring them up because
I've
Mike
had them on my show a few times.
Mike did the same thing for them once. He had the brothers open up for him.
Great
I forget
talent.
where, but
Next Generation.
yeah. Those
powerhouse
guys.
talent.
Those kids are tremendous,
Amazing,
man.
amazing.
Yep. Love those guys.
Yeah, good kids.
They're
good
a couple of punks.
Talking about Billy, how Billy would show up at like schools and different things. She's 18 years old now. 5 years ago, a 13-year-old girl from Long Island named Lexi Cassell. She's on Facebook. She's a singer, songwriter, guitar player. Short little thing. She's like 5'0" and big passion with music. She did a thing at her school. There's pictures of her playing with Billy like 6 feet away.
Oh wow!
In her auditorium.
Yeah.
And there's this little 5-foot kid with the guitar singing.
Oh, that's
and there's
cool.
Billy sitting right there with his hat on, just smiling at the kid playing. I told Jim Fate that at the Great South Bay Music Festival. Jim's good friends, the guy that runs the Great South Bay. I'm one of his MCs every year.
Nice.
And he saw the picture and he, as per my request, hired the girl to play one of the 4 stages at the Great South Bay.
Wow.
When she was 13 years old, 5 years ago.
That's great.
It was pretty cool.
Gotta get him to play the Great South Bay.
You know what? I mean, it is original music, so you'd have to do a 45-minute set of original music. Which
Yeah.
He's got him.
Yeah, got him.
It's too late this year. It's in 2 weeks.
Oh.
And the last 2 years we haven't had the festival.
I got to get a better agent than you, Tony.
We haven't had the
I tried.
You got to get on.
This is our first festival this is the 14th annual Great South Bay Music Festival.
Yeah, no, a lot of people who are performing. Yeah,
coming up in 2
It's
weeks.
a great
I'm
festival,
bringing on
man.
Tedeschi Trucks. I'm bringing on.
Nice.
I'm bringing on Los Lobos.
Wow.
I'm bringing on a couple of the headliners Saturday and Sunday, so I'm
Very
excited
cool.
about that. As well as some of the local acts like Kerry Carney and the Almost Brothers, and I'll bring on Wondrous Stories.
Yeah.
Nice.
Another group that I'm, have a lot of,
Yeah.
You
play with a lot.
talked about Kenny Friedman before, who's
Yeah.
a sub for that band.
Yep.
A great keyboard player. I've had him on my show a few times.
He's great.
Love
Kenny's
him.
great.
Love him.
He's doing the live stream thing now. He took it to a whole new level. He's on.
He was
he's
doing
on
it
Twitch.
with them with Tommy Williams.
Yes, and
and
still
also,
is.
and he is.
Yeah.
Because I've seen him like every Thursday.
Yeah.
Then they stopped.
No, they moved to Twitch because that's a better platform for live
they're
streamers.
on Twitch now.
Yeah, which I've been toying with doing that myself, but it's just you got to make the commitment because you have to do it more than once a week. People subscribe, people pay to be part of your channel, and then if you decide that you don't feel like playing it all that week, you're really screwing the people who paid you a monthly subscription.
Right.
You know,
So it is a big commitment.
Yeah, it is. But
so they've honored the commitment and they're doing it regularly on Twitch now.
Yeah,
Son of a gun.
super talented guys. Man.
I don't see any
both of them.
posts on Facebook. Come on, join us over on Twitch.
I think he promotes it on
I
Facebook.
would
yeah,
hope so,
I think
but
he
I
does.
don't remember seeing
Yeah.
any.
No,
Great, love those guys. Tommy Williams was, as I'm sure you guys know, the band director back in the '80s for Debbie Gibson.
Debbie Gibson. Yeah. Well, I think he just went to go on tour with the Hooters again. I think he just left.
Yeah, he's
right.
he's-
Yeah.
Oh, is that right? Yeah.
He's been with the Hooters now for 6-7 years now, I think.
Yep. And shout out to Kenny Forgione.
Wondrous
the,
Stories.
basically the
founding
leader.
member.
The leader.
The founding
Yeah.
member of the infamous Wondrous Stories.
Yeah, he comes out. He sits with us a lot for our Beatles songs. Before the pandemic, we were going to do a Traveling Wilburys tribute.
I remember that.
Yeah, we were getting it going. It was basically Wondrous Stories plus me and Eddie Prophet, and we were going to do all of their songs. Petty, Harrison, Orbison, basically take the best and
of
do
those
like
hits.
a theater type show. ELO. Yeah, I was really looking forward to the ELO
My
stuff.
cousin
Yeah.
played drums for ELO.
Really?
Yeah. Paul Elliott.
Is he still doing
He does wedding bands today.
Okay.
He pays the bills in
Yeah.
London,
Okay.
where he lives.
Wow.
But he was a touring member of ELO.
Wow.
At what point? Like
Back
in
in,
their...
back in the '70s.
Wow.
My cousin also played with David Bowie. He played with Gary Moore. He's been blessed and honored to play with some of the greats. When my show started, by the way, the Blues Warehouse 27 years ago on BAB, the first band I ever had in the studio, Wondrous Stories.
Nice.
And when those guys came, they played Clapton, they played Hendrix, they played all these great blues
They
things.
play everything.
Yeah.
When they came out of the studio, Fingers Metal Shop was on after me.
Right.
Do you know that show?
Yeah, I remember.
Of course.
So
yeah.
I was on 9 to 11 on BAB. Fingers was on 11 to 1 a.m. on Sunday nights.
Right. Yep.
So when I had Wondrous Stories leaving the studio at the end of my show, Fingers had 4 musicians coming into the studio.
Yeah.
Long hair with cellos playing the music of Metallica on cellos.
Right, yeah.
Called Apocalypto. They're still around today.
That's great.
My first show on BAB.
Yeah,
That's cool.
So it's
You
pretty,
do things like that, you stand out. You know, you find a niche. That's
yeah, pretty cool.
very cool.
My debut on BAB.
You want to get that thing?
What thing?
That thing you play.
The first thing or the second thing?
You talk to the guy. And play any Wilbury related thing you want to play.
A Wilbury song.
Anything,
cool.
even Wilbury related.
Can you do the
anything.
4-part harmonies as a solo guy?
Absolutely. Let's
Still can do anything.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
All right.
I'd like to see
All right.
that.
And while Joe is grabbing the guitar, let me
You gotta play any
read
commercials? You wanna pay any
No,
bills?
just gonna read some. No, I did a commercial
cool.
before we started. I'm just gonna read some comments here. Lynn says she loves the Fascino family. Oh, Jerry wants to know, how did my court appearance in costume go? I had to go to court yesterday for a traffic ticket, and I was asking everybody, how should I dress?
How did you dress?
I took Andy's advice. I dressed in long slacks and a button-down shirt. I was going to go in shorts, and Andy was very emphatic. Do not go there in shorts, because I figured if they see the prosthetic, then they'll
You
get
might
some
shed a
sympathy.
tear and get some
Right.
sympathy. Why didn't you?
Because Andy said not to.
Did you have to pay any money at the end of your
I
appearance?
did.
You should have.
They knocked a lot of money off, because I'll tell you the truth, I got nailed doing 79 and a 55.
Where? Nassau or Suffolk?
Nassau.
All right.
So they knocked $200 off the fine, and they took 4 points off. So I ended up paying $350.
You still managed to get points on your license?
2 points, which is nothing.
It still sucks.
It sucks, but at least it's not.
Your insurance is going to go up.
Yeah, but then I can take that stupid class and knock it right out.
But you got to take the stupid class.
I'll take the stupid
Who
class.
wants to take the stupid fucking class?
I don't care about taking it. I do much stupider things with my time. So
I'm sure that's true.
So yeah, so I was going to go in shorts. Andy was very. I mean,
Who's Andy again?
Andy, he co-hosts the show normally with me on Fridays. He's the gentleman you met this morning.
What's his last name?
Plagianos.
Andy Plagianos.
There you go.
That's
Andy
almost as
Plagianos.
hard to say as the Jesu. Say those two names together, you got something.
Oh, let's just stick with their first names.
Good idea.
Andy and Joe. Yeah, he was like, do not go there in shorts. Do not go for the pity. Go there, dress
Why
respectfully.
is he emphatic that that's the route you go?
All I know is that he's smarter than me. That's all I know, so I followed his advice.
Based on him showing up with the stuff he did today and the advice he just gave you, that's what we're going by? Just so I know.
Well, that tells you how stupid I am.
There's other things to indicate that he's smarter than you, other than those two things?
Yes.
Just so I know.
Yes.
All right.
Absolutely.
Fair enough.
Lynn says she knows a few bands for the Great South Bay with originals. Wink, wink. Almost Brothers bands are not original music?
No, but they do like when Wondrous Stories comes in, they're going to do a theme of, I don't remember what band they're going to do. They're going to do a theme of like a whole album. Like one year, I think they did the whole White Album.
Right.
For the Beatles.
I remember years ago they did the whole Tommy album with John Entwistle.
But that's not going to be on the main stage. That's on the Jambalaya on the other side of the festival.
Ah, there
the
you go.
Jambalaya stage.
Okay. Andrew Fremder, I used to work for BAB and BLI. Great times, great people. Andrew Fremder, you know that name? Did you work with him?
I was in BAB from 96 to 2000.
Okay. All right. Brendan Burt, I only this week noticed the Wilburys F-bomb on Handle with Care. What?
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 What? Tell me where so I could do it.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about there, Brendan Burt. And Jerry Lahane claims that he was a ghostwriter for the Wilburys. Jerry Lahane claims, he's one of our watchers, he claims that he ghost wrote for a lot of people.
Really?
So I don't know, but that's what he says.
See, if you brought your wife and 2 kids here with you today, we could get the 4-part harmony going.
We could.
But I'm dying to see how you do with this as a solo.
Yeah.
The 4-part harmony. That'll be
Well,
cool.
you're gonna have to sing.
No,
a
I
part.
will not be singing.
I thought that's where he was going with
got
this.
a better shot. We got a better shot of letting Mr. Walker sing that.
No,
The
this
amount
is
of music that you guys listen to. I mean, I'm sure there's some talent there that nobody knows about.
You'd like to
I we
think.
should-
You'd like to think so.
I do.
We're gonna let you continue that, thinking that. I wish I could grow a beard like you guys.
Why, have you not hit puberty yet? What do you mean?
I don't know. Maybe not. Look at the baby face I got going on here.
Oh,
I could be a late bloomer still.
Could
I'm
be.
a few months younger than you.
Sure. I just look younger than me. All right. Joe DeJesu is going to play a tune for us. Very excited.
Say his name again.
Joe DeJesu.
Say it one more time.
Joe DeJesu.
Good job.
That's right.
Can you say that good?
Joe DeJesu, Joe DeJesu, Joe DeJesu. What's the vocal warm up that you guys told me to do?
It's a great vocal warm up. Just saying your name.
All right. We wanted Wilburys, right?
I got to say it. This is Long Island's own Joe DeJesu.
Been beat up and battered around, been set up and I've been shot down. You're the best thing that I've ever found. Handle me with care. Reputation's changeable, situations tolerable. Tony, you're adorable. Handle me with care. I'm so tired of being lonely. I still have some love to give. Won't you show me that you really care?
You gonna join?
Everybody's got somebody to lean on. Put your body next to mine and dream on. I've been fobbed off and I've been fooled. I've been robbed and ridiculed in daycare centers and night school. Handle me with care. Stuck in airports, terrorized, sent to meetings, hypnotized, overexposed, commercialized. Handle me with care. I'm so tired of being lonely. I still have some love to give. Won't you show me that you really care? Everybody's got somebody to lean on. Put your body next to mine and dream on. I've been uptight and I made a mess, but I cleaned it up myself, I guess. Oh, the sweet smell of success. Handle me with care.
Need a harmonica.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Long Island's own Joe.
From the Long Island zone.
DeJesu.
Fopped. Yeah.
Nicely done, my man.
Thanks, dude.
That was great. Yeah.
I believe the lyric there is fobbed. I think that's like a British word for. Maybe it's a British word for the F-bomb. I don't know.
You're right. I do believe it's fobbed.
Right.
But then they're talking in the comments. There is another song on that album where they throw in they sneak in an F-bomb. Dirty World.
Really?
They sneak it in towards the end of the song.
You weren't
yeah.
aware of that, Joe?
I was not.
See that?
Well, Dirty Word or Dirty World?
The song Dirty World.
Oh, I don't know it.
You don't. It's Traveling Wilburys.
I get
You're gonna do a Traveling Wilburys. They have 2 albums. You don't know all the songs. How can you do a Traveling Wilburys tribute?
We were gonna do 3 of,
Yeah.
of their songs. The 3 hits,
Yeah.
obviously. The other one, that's wrong. So we're gonna do End of the Line, whatever one I just did. What's it called again? Handle with Care. Fopped. And Last Night, maybe, and then
Last Night.
The idea was to do 4 tunes from each of their own catalogs,
Right.
You know, which would make up a whole theater show.
Absolutely.
And there's no other Traveling Wilburys tribute that I know of around.
It is a great
since
idea.
We're so tribute heavy here on the island. That
Right.
would have been a great, you know.
But you still need to know that they have 2 albums. What are you talking? 12 songs? You still need to know them.
I was born in 1980.
Yeah.
So, you know, I got a lot of making up to do.
You do.
You know.
All right. I'll send you this. I'll send you the albums.
There are only 2 of them, right?
Yeah.
Shouldn't be difficult.
No. you're doing a tribute show. Full albums. All the tribute bands, they do full album shows and album cuts and
Well,
this
you
and that.
practice them. You listen to them and you learn them. I mean, I'm not prepared. I'm never prepared for anything. You know what I mean?
Best way to do it, off the cuff.
If you would have said, do the F-bomb song from the Wilburys, I would have come prepared with it.
You could have called me.
And
I would
that's
have
the
told
end
you.
of the line.
Good one. Don't quit your day job.
I won't,
So
I
what?
promise.
So why not? You can't. Are you still toying with the idea of getting this band started? Or no?
It was difficult to get everybody together to begin with because there was like 8 of us, and all 8 people are extremely, extremely busy.
Does he go touching your knobs at Stony Brook?
He could have. I would have allowed it. I'm just noticing the indentation on the guitar. Can we show this?
Sure.
Can I pick this up and show this? What camera are we looking at?
Look
what's going on
I think
here.
we're looking right here. I think. Yeah, right there.
Look what's going on here. Give me a zoom on this. This is done
All right,
from.
hang
This
on a
is,
second.
he needs a pick guard.
That's what they call character.
That's character.
Yeah.
That his pick has done this. I've seen this on electric guitars too. With
Yeah.
blues guys. This indentation.
That's my workhorse guitar.
You've had this guitar for longer than a few weeks.
It's cool to look at old pictures and see it grow over the years.
That's what Eri says too.
Which, by the way, I always sing to her, "Baby, you're adorable." So you should really be.
I was
passing that
honored.
line to her.
I was honored and a little excited.
Okay.
So,
Serious character right there. Serious character.
I'm waiting for it
I had
to
to point that out.
I was
You're
gonna
waiting
make-
for it to what? Bust
well,
open?
Yeah, but I didn't want to make another joke that Tony could associate with a sexual innuendo.
That's what I do.
I'm waiting for a hole to be created here. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Good looking instrument.
That I think goes back to you and Del Judas on your weekend at his house. Andrew Fremder says that was awesome. Then Jerry Lahane says, sadly, some of the songs on the Traveling Wilburys Volume 1 album were B to C level. Jerry Lahane, I'm going to smack you in the face.
Do you know that guy?
Not personally. He's just a regular viewer. I've never met him.
He could be bigger than you. Could hurt you. If you know him, that's one thing. But
Well, he's insulting my Wilburys, man.
Maybe he's got a bad attitude and takes offense to what you just said.
Well, too bad.
Now I really want to listen to it.
Yeah.
We all should.
It's a great album. I love that
You got
album.
any Paul Rogers?
I probably could find.
Do you know any Paul Rogers? You know any Bad Company?
How about Rogers Paul? We can do some Roger Paul.
Well, you'll take that, right?
Sure.
Whoa.
Nice.
That sounds familiar. There it is.
When I think about you, I think about love.
Man, you really need harmonies on this song.
Darling, I won't live without you and your love. And if I had the words in front of me, I could sing this whole song. But I don't.
You don't
so
really
it ends
need
right
it?
here. 'Cause I'm dying on the show. Hey, I knew
There it is.
Feel like making. I feel like making love. I feel like making love. Feel like making love to you.
Massive
Cut.
talent. Massive
Cut.
talent.
Fantastic. That was great.
We do that in the cans,
That song?
not in the bathroom. In the band.
Who sings it?
Mike.
He sings them all?
No, he doesn't sing all. He sings. I mean, I don't know how to break it down. It depends on the gig, but
He sings 95% of them. I'd like to think not.
No,
I'd
not
like
really. I mean,
With talent like this guy in the band,
Agreed.
To my left,
Dan is a great
Dan
singer
Wood.
too. And
he plays
has a-
keys, right?
Plays keys. Yeah, we have a lot of fun. We just really have a lot of fun.
Who's the whole band? Who plays bass?
So Terry Woodard plays bass, an actual other attorney.
Okay.
Great bass player, lays it down. Him and Mike lock in real nice. Mike Orioles, who's a fantastic lead guitarist.
So your rhythm guitar?
I play acoustic, so I'll play 12-string or 6-string acoustic. Some percussion, depending on the song. And Dr. John Byrne, a great guitarist, plays...
Dr. John Byrne, that name
yeah.
sounds familiar.
Yeah, he's a doctor.
Dentist?
No, he's allergist.
Okay.
Yeah. Allergist, I think.
I don't know if I've ever seen you playing an electric.
It's rare.
You don't plug in often, huh?
Not too often. I'm
Oh,
lazy.
that's
You know, pedal boards and everything. I can't be bothered.
The acoustics works great with his voice, though.
Well, I'm not. I
Not
wasn't suggesting he switch. I was just
Sounds like
pointing
you were.
out.
Sounded like you were.
No way.
All right. All right.
And I talked about it briefly on your show. The kids have gotten the bug, and you got it's Lyric, right? That she's been performing, she's been acting, and
yeah. She's
that's cool.
She's expanded into theater, probably
Nice.
because she knows that I know nothing about theater, and she probably wants to get the hell away from me. I'm chasing her around the house.
so-
Sing harmony, sing harmony.
I got to ask a question. Your two kids, Lyric and Melody. So they're basically destined for what they're going to do in life with those kind of names.
Hope so.
What if they had no interest in music?
So be it. You
What-
know?
what
I'm
would
going to
have happened
support them
then?
whatever they want to do. Unless they want to become lawyers, then I'm going to put my foot down and say absolutely not.
Really?
That's it.
Really, that like seriously, you
No,
would.
I'm half joking.
Yeah,
but-
It's half joking. He'd frown against it, but he
Trust me,
wouldn't.
the chances of them wanting to become attorneys after them watching me bitch and
Are
moan
slim
every
and
day
none.
about how much I hate
Slim
it.
and none.
Yeah.
Slim to none.
Really? And you hate it that bad, huh?
It's
I know
just
you've
not-
always hated
It's just
it.
not my personality. I'm
Yeah.
I'm so
What made
glad
you get
to be
involved
doing-
in it?
You know, you're 24 years old and you look around and you say, how am I going to support a family on Long Island? What
Yep.
am I going to, you know, I can't go playing open mics every night. You know, it's
Right.
not going to cut it. So,
Should have gave it a shot like so many others do.
sucked it up. Nah, I should have. I can say that.
I hear you,
20
man.
years
You and me
later, but
both.
I'm doing it now.
20
So-
years now? 20 years?
Yeah, well, I'm 40. I'm going to be 42 next month.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're an old man, for God's sakes.
Well, for the music
He's got
business,
gray
I
hair
guess.
coming in on that beard. Look at that.
yeah, I know. Forgot my Just for Men.
I remember my beard was that color.
Yeah.
Yeah, 20 years ago.
You're young. You said 88, right? You graduated.
Graduated in 88.
I thought you
yeah.
were saying that was his age.
Well, I look it, yeah. Especially with this white beard.
And I'm a few months younger than him, and I still can't grow a beard. A full beard.
I think you should try it now.
Should I? The mustache comes in light.
I mean, you're on the radio. Who cares?
That's right. You know, and I got a great face for
But
radio.
you do
so-
a lot of MC stuff, so maybe.
That's the other thing.
Right.
That's the other thing. And that's a question I wanted to ask you, by the way. Standing
Okay.
up, getting on stage. It's one thing to be in front of a mic like we're doing now.
Yes.
It's like the force. Either you're born with it or you're not.
Okay.
You and I could do a 2-hour show for 15 hours.
Would love to,
And it would
yeah.
go by, and it would, you know, like no problem. You must get guests occasionally that getting conversation out of them is like pulling teeth.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And you're carrying it, trying to dig questions out to get them to talk, and you're getting one-word answers.
Right.
I went through that with Johnny Winter. My first question for Johnny Winter, the first time I interviewed Johnny, was, Johnny, you're headlining a fundraiser we're doing for battered women and children and the homeless here on Long Island. How you feeling about that? And Johnny goes, good. More of that needs to be done. That was it. That was his answer. And I was like, okay, great. Unless I asked him about his brother, Edgar Winter,
Right.
or his influences, it was like pulling teeth to get him to speak.
But at least it was Johnny Winter, somebody with a big following.
But it was still a lot of awkward time.
Yes.
And this was one of my first interviews I ever did. So I'm new in the business. But the force, I had it within me to be able to carry the conversation and just be able to just roll with the punches. And what do you do when you get someone in here that you 5 minutes after they're here, you're like, why did I book this guy?
There've been plenty of times where I walk out and say, all right, that was not one of our best shows, or that was awkward. Depending on who it is, you know, if it's somebody I know a lot about, I'll just keep going, or I'll just stop the interview and I'll talk about other things, current events. What do you think about this? Did you hear about this? And see if they have anything to say.
There you go.
It always helps when there's other people in the room too.
Right.
You know the Johnny Mac band?
Sure.
Love those guys. Their bass player, Dave Ice.
I've had those guys on my show before.
They've been in here, and actually they're coming back sometime in July, which I'm very
Dave
excited
Ice
about.
is dry.
Dave Ice, right? Dry
He's
Ice.
a dry guy. Dry ice, right?
But that was fun because I made a joke out of it. Like, Dave, you know, how do you feel? Good. Like that was, and he has that low, deep voice. Great. And that was over. So we were making jokes.
He's being serious.
Right. But we got laughs out of him because we made fun of him about it playfully, you know. So there's just a lot of different ways to
works,
go.
Sometimes it doesn't.
Right.
Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't.
And even the comedians, you know, these guys are in this building on the stages making people laugh their asses off. So they come in here. A lot of them are serious people behind the scenes. Excuse me. So they come in here, and they're not, they're not doing their bits, and they want to talk about, the homeless or saving the world or politics.
Sad
and
topics. Sad topics.
Yeah, and you let them go a little bit because you respect them. You're happy that they're here. But man.
And you're hoping that there's going to be a hook or a turn.
Right. Exactly.
In the beginning, you're hoping, and then 10 minutes later, you're realizing there isn't.
And honestly, I'll be honest, because I haven't been in the business as long as you. We're coming up on 5 years in a few months. Sometimes I'm just happy to have a name or a semi name in here, so that in hopes of getting more views. Sometimes I don't even, as sad as I am to say that, I don't even care how the interview goes. I just want more people to see the show.
Sure.
So
let me ask you this. Here's my other question: are you as comfortable on stage in front of actual humans as you are on the radio?
Yes.
Okay. Because there's a lot of radio DJs doing it a lot longer than me, a lot more popular than me, that can do what we're doing on radio, do their show 5 hours a day, 5 days a week, and then be at a festival or a show at the Patchogue Theater or something, and they're like bending their knees, they're like looking down, they can't get comfortable on stage in front of people. And it blows my mind.
Back in, I think it was 2017, David Clark was performing at Suffolk Theater.
Songs in the Attic.
Love Dave. It's actually now changed to
He's
all
the first
all
guy I
about
ever
Joel.
used for my first fundraiser.
Oh, is that
on Long
right?
Island.
He was just in here a few weeks ago. One of my closest friends. I love David. It was April Fool's Day, Suffolk Theater. So the band, the lights go down. They put up a picture of Billy on the screen. The band is coming out. The audience starts to cheer. No David. I come out. I get behind the piano, and I go, David's not feeling good, so you're stuck with me tonight. And I just start banging the piano for Angry Young Man, but I'm hitting all the wrong notes. I'm all over the place. I don't play piano, so I'm just...
Can you play chopsticks?
No.
You don't know chopsticks?
No.
Seriously? I mean, it's...
Oh, no, I would screw that up.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Tom Hanks in Big, on the feet,
I
right?
think you're right. I think you're right. That would have been a funny song to pull out.
I can't. Yeah, nothing.
right.
So so the audience, and even the band. So I finally had
Oh, the band wasn't in on it.
Some of them were, but finally I looked at the audience. Says, "What's today?" And then you hear, "Oh, April Fool's Day." Ah. So I love that kind of stuff. I can do pretty much. Yes. Crowd work. I love that kind of
you're
stuff.
as comfortable
all the time. Absolutely.
It's like breathing to me too.
Yeah.
I can stand in front of 10,000 people like I'm talking to you two.
Yep.
And it's the force, either you're born with it or you're not.
Yeah.
But I've seen DJs like on B103, on BAB, that can talk on the radio as comfortably as we are now and get in front of a few people, and it's amazing how their little mannerisms have changed, and their attitude, and they're so uncomfortable, and they'll have a cue card or a sheet of paper to read whatever the comments are, and to freestyle and just be able to address the audience, and a lot of people can't do it.
Yeah.
So I had to ask you if you were one of those guys.
No, well, I've been acting, since high school. I've been doing dinner theater for 25 years. So that
You're
it's
very comfortable with it.
It's dinner theater. It's audience interactive. We're not just up on a stage. So we walk around. So I interact with people from beginning to end. So yeah, there's tons of comfortability up there for me.
See, I wish I could do stuff like if I don't have an instrument in my hand,
you gotta be behind.
I won't sing at karaoke because
you can't get comfortable.
I don't know what to do with myself.
Well, that's a good thing. Karaoke's annoying.
Well, all right. If somebody wants to get up and play guitar, and but they don't sing, so I have to sing the song, and I give them my guitar. I just
No kidding,
feel
yeah.
weird. I don't know what to do.
So, but you've done it.
If you don't have the experience doing it, then
It's
awkward,
not even
yeah.
the experience. It's just like I said, the force. Either you can grow into it, but in most cases, you're either born with it or you're not.
Right.
You can if you have enough of a passion with it, you can teach yourself
Try to figure it out.
to
Yeah.
breathe
It's like
and get
dancing.
be comfortable.
Yeah.
Right.
Can't dance.
But so many people have been on radio for decades can't get comfortable in front of audiences,
Sure.
and it blows my mind.
Yeah.
So-
Well, and it's the same with actors. You got people that will do films and they're great at films. In fact, a friend of mine. This goes back years ago. I don't know if it's true, but this is what a friend of mine had told me. Al Pacino. A friend of mine had seen Al Pacino do something in theater. I don't remember what the show was. I want to say it might have been some kind of Shakespeare thing. But he said Pacino was horrible. He was awful in this thing. It's the same thing. You can go on film and you can do the takes over and over, and you don't have
De Niro give an interview.
Oh yeah, talk about it like deadpan.
I mean,
like he doesn't want to be there. Like he's grouchy.
He really doesn't look like he wants to be there now.
Right. Yeah.
Or Pesci even.
Yeah, true. Pesci's the same way,
When he accepted the Academy Award, he's like, "Thank you."
Right,
right.
Literally, thank you. That was it.
But these guys are brilliant actors, right? So everybody's got
right
strengths.
Their strengths and weaknesses, little idiosyncrasies, whatever it is. It's funny though. It's funny.
I once saw on Broadway the show Wait Until Dark. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but this is going back late '90s. Marissa Tomei was playing the female lead, which she could just stand there all night, and I'm fine with that. But the male lead was Quentin Tarantino. Horrible. Like, he ruined the show for me. He was that bad.
That's
in my
why
opinion.
he's a director.
Right. But that's the thing. So everybody has their
strengths and weaknesses.
Right.
Strengths and weaknesses.
Right.
See, I thought Quentin did a good job in Pulp Fiction when they had to pull the car with the shot up body into his garage.
They probably gave him a bunch of takes.
They probably did.
Right.
Exactly.
But the finished product was great. I thought he did a great job with it.
Right.
But that's a good question. I'd like to know.
It's the same thing with music, though. There are a lot of great singers in the studio, but when they're live, and to me, it's, I don't know if you can sing one, but I don't know. I mean, and the other way around. Some people have a hard time singing in a studio like this, but they're great live performers. You know?
And what's and Frender brings up a good point. He when he plays, he finds it easier to perform for a lot of people than a few. Does that matter to you, or
some people can't do the intimate
audiences. Intimate stuff?
Yeah,
right.
1,000%.
Really?
I mean, yeah, I think if you're playing for 500 people or 500,000 people, it's for me it's kind of similar depending on the size of the room. Perform like this is tough. You know what I mean? It's tough just because of the way that it's set up and everything.
Yeah.
I've played in bars where there's been 4 people, and that feels weird.
Really?
Yeah. I'd rather play in front of a bunch of people. I mean, for obvious reasons, but I think I'm more comfortable in front of
yeah.
a lot
But
more people.
I'll tell you, for a music geek like me, who's really into music and really wants to hear the band. I mean, I want to have a good time with my friends too, but I also really want to enjoy the band. And I haven't lately, but I used to, when I was close with Mike Del Giudice, I would go religiously to his Mulcahy shows. And again, religiously, I was there for a few years. I did this, but one of the reasons I stopped was because, and I'm not knocking Mulcahy's or Mike or the gig, the place, but I didn't enjoy the drunk crowds, and then even the band got a little loose because it's not really your typical concert. It's a bar gig. It's a big bar.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's a great paying gig. So again, I'm not knocking anybody, and they bring a lot of people in.
Was the place packed?
Oh, it's always packed. Mulcahy, he always packs it in Mulcahy's, but it's a drinking crowd. Most people aren't really fully paying attention. They're talking, they're drinking, they're getting drunk. They don't care. They only care to a certain degree how the band sounds. Where I want to see, like a theater show, I guess, where I want to really see the band, hear the band, have good sound, hear what everybody's playing. So I don't enjoy that as much. I prefer an intimate because you can hear more,
Right. Speaking of Mulcahy's biggest night of the year is going to be this Tuesday.
Oh, the Paper Bag.
Paper Bag. Once a year, the last Tuesday in June every year. We didn't have it last year, the year before. The year before that, I made the introductions. I got to MC the show.
Explain what Paper Bag is.
The Paper Bag is the world's largest 70-plus piece rock band. It's actually about 88 musicians it's grown to. It started with 16 42 years ago.
Wow.
Now it's up to 88 musicians.
Where do they fit?
They've extended the stage out. They built the stage out to a big T, if I remember right, and 1,500 people, and it's all word of mouth. No advertising for this gig on a Tuesday. Usually it starts at 10 a.m., goes till 4 in the morning. It goes 6 hours straight. This year it's starting at 8 a.m., going till 8 p.m., going to 2 in the morning.
Wow.
They're doing it 2 hours earlier, which thankful for me. It's an hour drive for me. I live out near Port Jeff.
Right.
So it's quorum. So it's I go Monday to the rehearsal, Monday night, and then I'll be there Tuesday. The show starts at 8 this year. I'll be there at 5:30 for the rehearsal. I'm like a kid in a candy shop.
Right.
Mike Guido, who was a sax player for the Stanton Anderson Band, and Jim Small Band, if you remember the Jim Small Band.
I do.
He's the one that started this thing 42 years ago.
Wow.
He's an ex-school teacher that put this thing together 42 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's up to 88 musicians now. And there's 300 people in the Paper Bag. I'm not a musician, but I'm an active member for 12 years now.
Yeah.
And there's 300 people totally. Everybody has a shirt. The shirt is the backstage pass.
Okay.
If you have the Paper Bag shirt on for that year, for this year, 2022. You get to go backstage, be a part of the barbecue, the free beer and booze, and just be. And I always climb up the ladder, up the concrete thing to go into the sound booth. To be away from the crowd because it's 1,500 people in this place.
Yeah, sure.
It's there's no elbow room.
Right.
If you're in the crowd and you want to get to the bar, it'll take you an hour to get to the bar to get a drink.
So
that's how crowded it gets.
It's is it a charity event
No.
or it's just to bring the musicians in and
it's a concert with a theme every year.
Okay.
And they do what's called the body bag, which is a memoriam of all the people that died the previous year.
Okay.
They play songs and do a piece of that of people that died. And they play all classic rock and oldies, and they've got like 4 drummers. They've got 7 or 8 guitar players. They've got 5 or 6 keyboards on the stage. They've got a horn section of 12 or 14 long of the horns, and they've got about 20 female singers and about 20 or 25 male singers.
Right.
And he's got a list of all the songs that they get to do. They get to do 1 to 2 songs each. They don't do them in a row. Like one singer, like. The band Pete Mazzio and the Hit Squad? They do the Bee Gees thing.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
So Mike Flintz is the guitar player. His
Right.
wife Tammy is one of the singers.
They've been in here.
Great singer. They've been on my show. They played for the kids at the hospital. They're awesome, just to name a few. And Pete Mazzio, I've had him up there a few
Didn't
times.
we have Pete? Yeah, we did.
That's
we
why
did.
I pointed at you.
That's right.
They'll like Tammy might sing the 5th or 6th song, and then she might go on again the 25th or 26th song
Right.
of a list of like 150 songs that are being done for the whole night. And it's just a big concert of such a wide variety of music with a different theme every year. And it's 42 years long.
Wow.
It would have been 44 years, but the last 2 years we didn't do it.
It's great that that's back.
So it's really cool. So it's this Tuesday at Mulcahy's.
You've never done it?
No, actually, I've never done it.
Well,
There's like a
no.
2-year waiting list to be in the paper bag.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
There's
that.
a lot of musicians that want to do it.
So how did Paul Esposito get in there?
He's been a part of it longer than me.
Really?
And I'm an active member 12 years now.
Wow.
He's been in it longer than me.
Wow.
He's not a bad singer himself.
I know, I'm joking around.
Not a bad
I've
little
known
singer.
Paul, another Hicksville guy that I grew up with.
Is that right? I
Yep.
didn't know he was from Hicksville.
There's loads of talent over there, I'm
I
telling
think
you.
he and his wife passed away a few years ago.
Yes, she did. Yes.
And so he's a single parent now with the 2 kids. And
Yes, he is.
They're going to be teenagers soon. If
Mhm.
the daughter,
I believe the daughter is,
gotta be
I think
12
she's
or
in middle
13
school
now.
or entering middle school.
Somewhere
something
in
like
that area.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
great guy.
He's been a single parent since the kids were like yay high.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
and now they're like this high. And before you know it, they're going to be driving. Like your kids. 2 more blinks of an eye, you're going to be giving driving lessons.
It goes fast, man.
It does. It
Enjoy
really
it while
does.
you can.
It really does.
Enjoy it while you can. I'm looking at my 15-year-old niece you heard me talk about earlier.
Yeah.
I held her in my
that-
twins. I held
she's-
the twins. They were twins.
She's 14.
She's right. She's 4. She's gonna be 15 next month. She's gonna be 15 next month, right? And she set me straight on the air earlier. Good. I'm glad one of us was paying attention.
I got a 23 and a 21-year-old, man. It flies. Oh, that reminds me. That's one. So could you mention ACDS on your show before?
Association for Children with Down Syndrome.
They
Levittown and Plainview.
They also have a day hab in Plainview, which is where my daughter goes. So you had mentioned you're possibly gonna do some music therapy.
I
with
was
them?
starting a music therapy program 1 month before the pandemic. I met the principals, the administrators. I got a tour. I got a tour of the schools.
Michael Smith, is that his name? I forget his name.
I honestly can't recall. I've got a book at home with all the names of the people
It doesn't
dealing
matter.
with.
So
So I met the school. I got a tour. I got to meet the kids. And 3 weeks later, the pandemic began.
is that something that's gonna come back or no?
We talked about it in December. I was able to raise a lot of toys for a few charities. The Joe Vicino toy drive for the John Thiessen Children's Foundation, and some of the people that donated toys to me couldn't do it for that and had a bunch of toys from Nassau County. Where can I donate them? So I said, you got to take them to ACDS.
Okay.
So I contacted my contact at ACDS and said, you want some toy donations? She's like, we'd love it.
Nice.
As long as they're new and new, unwrapped, and it's still in their packaging. So they had a few hundred of those, so we were able to get those donated to them at Christmas. But yeah, so I talked to them about running the music therapy program again.
Okay.
We're talking about maybe doing it in the fall.
All right.
We'll see what's up with the pandemic. The numbers on Long Island are below 10%. They're like at 8% now.
Right.
I think they want them around 5% before they'll entertain the thought of me bringing musicians to the school.
All right, well,
you know, special needs kids. You know,
we'll,
and Angela's house, the kids that are ventilator dependent,
Yeah.
run suction machines, oxygen mount. I haven't been able to work with those kids in 2 years,
right.
and that's very near and dear to my heart.
We got at the special needs PAL. We're up and running. Let's bring it in.
I can't believe we didn't talk about that on my show today. About your work with the police.
I am the El Presidente of the Nassau County PAL Special Needs Unit. We believe we're definitely the first PAL in the whole country to have a special needs unit.
Really?
We think, we're not positive, but we think we're still the only ones. Suffolk has a very small one. I don't even know if it's still in existence. But yeah, we're the only ones.
What are some of the things or events that you've had for the organization?
Well, we have a lot of sports programs. We have lacrosse, we have basketball, we have bowling. We do yoga. We just finished up a paint class in the fall because we have a variety of levels, and we work.
Are you dealing with adults only or kids too?
No, we go from the age 6,
All the way up.
there's no maxing out. So it's all different ages, all different levels. So this fall we're actually gonna. Which I would assume this would be for the higher functioning upper age guys. We're going to do a money management class with them. So we've done computer classes. We've done a bunch of different things.
Very
yeah,
cool.
Very
music.
Cool, I've tried to get a comedy class going in there. It hasn't
taken off yet.
It hasn't taken off, but we've worked on that. But yeah, music therapy might be fun.
It's gonna happen. It's definitely gonna happen. And I'd love to talk to you about maybe tying it in with your thing.
I'm in, man.
Because the power of live music, there's nothing like it.
Absolutely.
I think we should call this guy to my left on something like this. I don't think I know.
I'm in.
Nice.
Can we get the kids involved too?
They would love it.
100%.
When we were doing the show, regularly, we did a couple of shows where, we raised, we had.
You raised money for a new iPad.
For
one iPad?
No, well.
It was a charitable event.
I joke about that because I actually had the so in December every year at JetBlue at JFK Airport at JetBlue at their cargo hangar, 3 commercial planes can fit in this one cargo. They take 2 out, they keep 1 in the corner. I MC a show for 500 special needs kids in Queens.
Oh wow.
The School of the Deaf. I can't remember the name of the school in Queens. And kids in wheelchairs, and it's always the deaf kids are the kids that dance in front of the band I bring every year.
Yeah,
I bring a different band every year. I MC it. Santa comes off a plane, meets all the kids, gives them all
plane
gifts.
has landed though when Santa comes off, right?
The plane is in the corner.
Okay.
The
Just
other 2
making sure.
planes come out and they set up all tables and chairs, and in the corner we get to set up the PA system where the band plays. I make a couple announcements. I tell the kids we're going to count to 3 and all yell, "Hi, Santa!" And then Santa comes off the plane,
That's cool.
meets all the kids, and it's the best thing I do all year round. We haven't done it in 2 years because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
But that's going to be this December. We're going to be doing it again. And I've had Pete Maggio and the Hit Squad do it.
Mm-hmm.
I've had the Hit Squad do it without Pete, actually. I've had Mike and Tammy and the drummer Pete Lazos.
Yep.
And Rob DiMartino on bass filled in.
Yeah.
You know Rob?
I know. I don't think we've ever met him, but
You know of him.
Yeah.
Great rock bass player. They're all friends, and that was the band I had the last year we did it, and they hit it out of the park. Really did a good job. That's a lot of fun. I love doing these charitable things. I'll ramble about that for all day because it's
important.
Very passionate work I get to do.
It is important. It's very important.
Creates normalcy for half a day for kids that don't, get a lot of.
It's a number of things. Normalcy, an escape to get away from whatever it is going on in their life. And again, talking about your friend who I hope is okay. That's my deal. I'm a cancer survivor, man. I've been saying it for years. I truly believe that a positive frame of mind and laughing is just as important as the meds. I really do. It's actually be 20 years this year since I was diagnosed.
It's the attitude that you
absolutely.
Hold. It's half the battle. It really can.
Right.
It really can be.
And the other thing is, if you have this, group of people that you bring together through music, it's a great way to raise money.
Right.
Because if you're having a show and there are 100 people at your show, or you do a show weekly or whatever, any type of place where you have a bunch of people that congregate to one spot, why not use it for good?
Yep.
For people who.
Actually, we were talking about it before. You play in the hospitality bowl Monday.
Yep.
Which is always a big event. I know there's comedians that perform here regularly that are going to be there.
Yep.
I know you're performing with Mike. Yeah, I mean that's it. Whenever there's any kind of charity, that's the first thing they do. They grab a band and or a comedian. You know, it's because
Or both.
Yeah, right. And
Depending on the event.
the hospitality bowl is a big deal.
Yeah.
That's probably the biggest charity event.
I think so.
On the island, I would
Absolutely,
think.
yeah.
The Baldwin brothers, I don't know if they're still involved. I know
They are.
they are still
Well,
involved.
it's the Carol Baldwin Foundation.
Yeah.
Right.
They have named after their mother.
Yeah.
The
So,
mother was very sickly decades ago.
Right.
And she just passed recently, I think.
I think you're right about that. I think
Carol
she held on for a long time.
Yeah, she was sickly decades ago.
Yeah.
And she went into remission.
Mhm.
And they've been running the Carol Baldwin Foundation
Right.
for decades.
Yeah.
And I think she finally lost her battle not too long ago, a year or two ago, if I remember right.
Is this have you done it before, or is this the first time you do it?
I think Mike has done it before.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
not
Mike
sure,
has,
but
yeah.
It'll be my first time.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm sure it won't be your last either.
Right.
It looks like a great event. I've seen videos.
You have
from
to get
other
all
ones.
dressed up.
Oh.
Just let
What's
you
wrong
know.
with who he's wearing now?
They wouldn't let him in dressed like that. I don't have a problem with the way he's dressed now, but it's the hospitality ball. It's in a fancy place. You got to wear a tie.
Like tux?
A nice suit. Right, well, ask Mike. He'll tell you. Well, unless you have, like, your stage outfit. Maybe this will be your stage outfit. It'll look like a rock star.
I'm sure you could do a little better than this.
This T-shirt, yeah. I don't think I'll be wearing this T-shirt.
Well, if you lost this shirt and only had the T-shirt on, that might be.
That's a funny shirt. I like that.
Yeah.
I'm goofy like that.
It's all about the PMA, the positive mental attitude.
Nice.
To go back to what you're talking about.
You just make that up?
No.
Well, no, it's true. I do seriously believe that. I wouldn't have made it. I don't think I would have made it without
I'm a
it.
big believer in it too.
Yeah.
It's half the battle, like I said.
Yeah, without a doubt.
On a sincere note, absolutely.
Let me read some comments here, and then maybe we'll get Joe to grab that thing again.
Maybe dance instead of sing.
Sure.
That'll be the comedy portion of the show.
Brennan Burt, I almost never get nervous at auditions, but I've gotten actual parts and completely shat the bed. Nervous wasn't even the word. Sudden terror. That's interesting. For me, says Jerry, for me, singing live is tough if drums are loud. Well, that's what that's what a microphone's for.
Well, no, the stage sound, the drums can totally. It depends on how loud the band is. I mean, it could be the drums are too loud, bass too loud. If there's a large stage sound, you can't really hear.
Is that why they put up the plexiglass sometimes in front of a drummer?
For drummers, no, that's not for the vocalists.
Why do they put up
No. I mean to drown the sound of the drums. I mean.
You have to ask a drummer. I don't.
Oh, you don't even know what that's for?
You know, I'll tell you what that piece of plastic. It's bullshit.
Well,
it does very little.
Really, but is that the idea
it's supposed
behind
to be
it?
a sound barrier.
Right. Okay. That's what I'm
probably
asking.
so that you don't get leakage into the other.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Which is bullshit.
Really?
Which, in my opinion, is bullshit. You know, it depends on how good your engineer is, your sound engineer, to mix the room with in a lot of shows. If the room's big enough, you're completely miking the entire drum kit, not just the bass. You're miking the drums. You're miking. You know, the entire kit. There's two mics up top. There's the mic down here.
Yeah.
There's mics sometimes on top over the cymbals. Everything is mic'd. And if the sound engineer is doing his job, there is no leakage.
Okay.
There is no leakage.
Oh,
So
that's interesting.
It depends on, the guys at EKO have explained this to me. EKO Studios in
Yep.
New Park, which is where I do a lot of my shows. Top sound studio on Long Island.
Yep.
Those guys are the best. They're
Ralph's
expensive.
great, yeah.
Right. Ralph and Steve,
Yep.
those guys really have honed in on their craft with sound engineering. And Steve explained to me years ago that plastic barrier, it's supposed to it blocks out such little sound that if the engineer is doing a good job, there is no leakage. There is no issue with the mix on the stage with a full band,
but
whether it be a 5-piece or a 12-piece.
But that's funny to me because it's used so much.
It is used a lot.
Even major bands, play in the Garden, you'll see it sometimes.
He mentioned, I've had this discussion with him a decade ago, and he told me the benefits, the cons outweigh the pros, according to him.
Yeah.
I'd have to ask him again. I have a bad taste in my mouth over talking to him about this a decade ago. That it's just a bullshit prop.
Yeah.
It really, if the engineers are doing a good job, it's not necessary. It's not necessary.
I once had the pleasure of I was involved in a charity event working with Elio,
Nice.
where Huey Lewis was involved in this thing. and that's what you're talking about, how important a sound man is. That's what I think about, because the sound man for this charity event was awful. And I have this, all I can picture is Huey Lewis during the show. It was a charity event, so it wasn't, in fact, he wasn't even there with his band. It was other people. And he was, just a part of it. But there was one song where he wasn't singing, so he came down and he walked right through the crowd and went to the sound guy and was screaming at this guy. Because they were having problems throughout. And even during sound check,
a lot of technical issues.
Huey just had enough, and he was yelling. And then he turned to me. He said, "Look," he goes, "I need you to tell him, turn this up, turn that." He goes, "I need you to be my ears." And I'm like, "Holy shit, what the fuck?" Wow. Which I ended up doing it, but I just have this vision of Huey screaming at this guy. I couldn't believe it.
He seems like such an easygoing guy, too.
He was great. He was great.
Yelling at anybody.
Such a down-to-earth, nice guy. It was such a pleasure to work with him. But he was right, though. This guy.
To show you how important it is. A
Right.
bad sound guy could totally
Ruin
a
a
band
band.
could be the best band in the world.
Right, and the general crowd, they don't put that together. They don't know, so they take it. They think it's, I saw Huey once, he sucked.
Right,
right. They don't know.
You ever see a show on Long Island at like 89 North, the Warehouse, one of the bigger venues on Long Island, where you could barely hear the singer?
Oh, sure.
Everything is supposed to be leveled here. The singer is supposed to be here.
Right.
And a lot of times the singer is here, and everything else is like muffled. Everything might not be balanced right. And it's not as easy. They got a board like 3 times the size of your board.
Yeah, at least.
All the knobs and switches, and they're hooked, and they're walking around the room with an iPad that's hooked up to everything up top in the
Right.
booth, and they're doing it on the iPad, and you really have to have a good ear. And do you know what the number one thing? You'll know. Do you know what the number one thing is in a big room that absorbs sound? If you're in an empty room with a ceiling that's 20 feet high and you clap your hands,
That's where it goes.
You clap your hands. That clap will carry. Like we're in a low ceiling. You got
Right.
these absorbers on
Right.
the wall. So if they weren't here and the ceiling was 15 feet higher, the clap would carry.
Oh, even in this room, when these things aren't up, it makes a world of difference. Like you really notice it.
What's the biggest absorbance of sound in a big room? People.
Oh, okay.
If you're in a room that holds 500 people and there's only 100 people in the room,
Yeah.
the sound's going to carry, and it's very difficult for the sound guy to balance the band correctly.
That's why sound check is not the be all end all.
Right.
I saw the Who at Jones Beach 2019. They were having so many problems with the sound that the band, the Who, they walked off the stage. They walked off. And we waited about 20 minutes for them to come back. I thought for sure that they weren't coming back.
They did, though.
They did, but it took 20 minutes. And there was so many problems with the sound at this show. It did. It killed the show.
Well, there's 2 different sets of sound. There's stage sound for the musicians, and then there's the house
Right, the
sound,
monitors,
right? So
right,
sometimes if you're on stage, you don't really know what's going on out there. You got to
Right.
really trust the sound.
There's so many
engineer,
times a
you know?
band on stage can't hear a fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's frustrating to the musicians. You get some singers that got the thing in their ear, and the monitor.
Yeah,
in their ear.
I have.
You
to
have
the
one?
Buds, yeah.
Right.
Really?
Or 2 of the speakers right there at their feet, so they can try and
Right,
hear
the
mix on
monitors,
stage,
right,
the monitor.
yeah.
And it's really a hard thing to do. At 89 North, Sam has the guy
Love
Sam.
Love Sam.
Everybody loves Sam.
Absolutely love Sam.
Chill's band, they love Sam too.
Yeah.
And so many other bands that play there. At the Warehouse, I don't want to badmouth the guy Mike. I mean, he's a good guy, and and sometimes he's got kids that are there when he's not there. Not so much.
Really?
Not so much with balancing out the room properly.
The other things too is that they really have a hard job. So
Oh, yeah.
I'll look back and watch a performance from somebody's iPhone from the right side of the room, and I'll be like, oh wow, I can't hear X or whatever. And then
Yeah.
I'll look at somebody else's Facebook Live that was sitting on the other side of the room, and the sound is completely different.
Right,
Yes.
right.
So
Yep.
they don't have an easy job.
No, you're
you
right.
know?
And this little device in my hand is not the best tool to be able to hear a
That's if
balanced
you really
room.
want to jump out a window and watch one of your performances on somebody's
Ugh.
taken on somebody's phone.
Right,
After,
right.
Right.
Once in a while, you'll see a show take place where there's like 3 camera guys in the room because they'll hire a company to
Right.
a video company to capture a performance because they want to get some footage for their website or whatever, a promotional thing they want to make at a live show. Like Decadia's got some great footage on their website of showing up, of hiring camera companies at Mulcahy's or at 89 North
Sure.
in front of a packed house of
Right.
400, 500, 600 people, which at 89 North, the maximum's like 500. The CL's 500, so they can really probably hold 7 or 750. But the room's packed, and they get great footage, and it sounds good, it looks good. They do a good job with that. I've seen video footage from other companies that you're like, this is a horrible representation of what this band's trying to do.
Sure.
Horrible representation of the footage. I wouldn't look if I was going to hire this band. I wouldn't hire it based on this footage I'm looking at.
Right.
So it's a tough thing. It's really there's some great pros on Long Island that can really do it good, and there's a lot not so much. And it's a tough thing. It's a tough thing to balance out sound for live shows. Outdoor shows, especially like the tikis,
outdoors
with
are
the
tough,
wind coming off the beach.
Yep.
That's its own.
I don't know how you can do it. I don't know how they can do it.
It's same thing here. They have on the other side of the building. They have a little alleyway. They call it the patio. They started it during the pandemic because this place was closed for a year, so they tried doing outdoor stuff, and it's great. You know, it's great to be on stage, and it's not, you don't have the audiences are great, but it's very narrow, and it goes back further than any of the rooms in a regular comedy club, to the point where you even have trouble kind of seeing them back there. And it's just, it's tough. And then, like you said, wind outdoors, you're dealing with, we got this busy parking lot here with this shopping center. So you're dealing with loud cars, you're dealing with sirens, and it's not easy, man.
A lot of obstacles.
What's that?
Loud whistles.
Oh, anything. Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of obstacles.
Birds.
Pigs.
A lot of obstacles, yeah. It's not an easy thing.
All right, so let's see. I wanted to just get some comments done. Jerry Lahane was always too afraid to act. Fremder, the first show I ever played, I was so nervous I couldn't figure out why my equipment wasn't working. I thought it was broken or hooked up wrong. Then I realized I didn't even turn the power on.
I was going to say, I bet the switch was off.
That happened to me at the Paramount.
Really?
Couldn't figure out why you had no power?
I was opening, and I had the earbuds in, and I couldn't hear anything. And we had done the sound check, and everything was working fine. And then finally, Jeff came over, and he just came over and just hit the on button on my pack. I was like,
it's my first day.
Yeah,
it's my first day.
I was once doing a show, a game show in a restaurant. And
what game?
It's a game show. We have a podium and we ask trivia questions. You got to hit the podium, like Family Feud type shit. So I'm setting up a speaker.
I was going to guess Price is Right, but okay.
I was setting up a speaker on a speaker stand. I put the speaker up, and I turn to do something else, and I wasn't paying attention. The speaker wasn't completely on the stand right, so it started to tilt, and it took the whole speaker stand with it, and it fell to the right.
Oh shit!
Totally broke a table.
Oh my God!
I mean, nobody was sitting
Better
there.
than
Nobody was sitting there.
breaking
Thank
a
goodness.
person.
But but still, you still feel like you feel awful. And
not a great way to start the night.
Exactly, and of course it was really loud, and this place was packed, and everybody,
Right.
And thank God the owner was really nice about it. He immediately replaced the table in seconds, and I offered to pay. He's like, no, don't worry about it. But I'll never forget it.
Not a good start, especially when you're,
Yeah.
you're already nervous enough to do whatever you got to do,
That's a
and then
bad-
something
bad-
like
bad
that
sign.
happens. Or when you're plugging stuff in, and then all of a sudden you get the crazy loud feedback. I mean, that just screams.
That wasn't a preview of how the whole rest of the night was.
Absolutely not, man. You have a good time with us. I can tell you that. Fremder also says Jim Small is a great guy. I worked with him at Sam Ash for years. John Thiessen is a great guy, too. I worked with him at BAB for many events.
John Thiessen Children's Foundation.
Yep.
That's I think that's one of the longest running charities on Long Island, the John Thiessen.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and that guy works hard.
And he's got quite a story. He came close to death as like a toddler.
Yes.
He almost died, brain cancer.
Oh wow!
Yep.
And he's in his 40s now, and he's been running this charity in his own name out of Wantagh for decades now.
Yeah,
right.
Fantastic.
Joe Vicino, who just died in December, I host it with him every year. I'm taking it over this December.
Oh, nice.
John Thiessen Children's Foundation.
Okay.
I'm going to run it this year.
All right.
Which I'm looking forward to.
Well, come on in and push it when the time comes.
Look forward to it.
Brendan Burt, I found this show on a day I really needed to get a few laughs. Been lingering like a pimple ever since that day. Still grateful for it. Nice. And Lynn says Andy Dell is also performing at the Hospitality Ball. Well, there you go.
Andy Dell.
Yep.
That name sounds familiar.
Yeah, he's shit, I forget the. Lynn, help me out. Who does he play with? I'm having a brain fart here. But yeah, he's been around. He's a big Long Island name. Damn, I forget.
What's the guy's name that said he needed the laugh?
That's Brendan Burt.
Do we know where Brendan's from?
Brendan, where are you? East Meadow? I think that's where he
Somewhere
is.
in this area.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Somewhere in this area.
Seems again just another loyal viewer. Never met him. Seems like a good guy. We're hanging out with Mark Klein of Blues Warehouse, which is on WUSB. That's Stony Brook's radio station. Great show. It's been going on for a long time. And, of course, our old friend Joe DeJesu is here, revisiting his old home.
Flies off the tongue, your last name out of his mouth.
Joe DeJesu. It took me a while.
I'm like hurting my jaw saying your name.
It took me a while.
Tongue twister.
I honestly thought it was DeJesu when I first...
Most people do.
I'm sure
do
a
they?
lot of
Yeah.
people do.
Yeah.
Spelling, yeah. Spelling.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the last S is really where people get it wrong because DeJesus, okay, fine, but DeJesus.
See, I've learned your name through Mike Del Judas. Joe DeJesu in the house.
Okay.
On the porch shows that he would do.
Yeah.
I'd be watching, you tune in, and all. He doesn't say hi to me, but he says hi to Joe DeJesu. That's all right.
We massacre each other's last names on purpose.
It works. It works.
Call me Stein from my cousin Vinny.
You guys are always quoting stuff from my cousin Vinny and other,
17 other movies.
Italian,
Yeah.
all Italian, mostly Italian movies.
Right. Well, the mafia movies.
The mafia
Right,
movies,
right.
right. I get a kick out of it.
Right.
I pick up on a
I
few.
love that stuff. Cheryl D. Glad to have found Joe and his fantastic music.
Cheryl's the best. Cheryl's actually the one of the leaders of Mike's fan page.
Is that right?
Yeah, so she's always very busy, keeping up to date with that
Handling
stuff.
that.
She's very supportive.
God bless.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And her and is it still Sherry and
No, Marina. This is a fan page, so that's
oh.
Cheryl and Marina run the fan page.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right. You know who I'm talking about, though, right?
I think you might be talking about Danielle.
Danielle Benya, right? And then
Danielle Benya.
Was she watching this morning?
Yes, she was.
Or listening this morning?
She's become a fan of my show, and she's a good friend of Jill Joya.
Oh, okay.
She goes to most of Jill's shows.
Nice.
If not all of them.
Another
which
very supportive person, yeah.
Which reminds me, I want to get another song, and we're running out of time. So, what do you have to promote? You Jill dates?
Not really.
No.
JillJoyaRocks.com.
There you go.
JillJoyaRocks.com.
Not really.
In honor of this great place we're in, before he does his last song.
Yeah.
Should I tell one more joke?
Well,
I told a joke.
One
last
more?
time. Well, I'll tell. Yeah, one joke. I want to.
I just figured you were starting.
I could tell two, but I'm only going to tell. I told one here last time.
Well,
this is Governor's Comedy
Would
Club.
you label it a joke?
I'm not. I'll tell you what. I'll say it. I'll say it, and then you answer the question.
Okay.
All right. So, 3 old guys in an old folks' home. One guy's 70, one 80, the third one's 90. The 70-year-old guy goes, "Boy, do I wish I could take a healthy piss again. It's been ages. I wish I could do that. I can't anymore." And the 80-year-old guy goes, "Man, I got no trouble doing that. I just wish I could take a healthy poop again." And the 90-year-old guy goes, "Gentlemen, at 7 a.m. every single morning, I take a healthy piss. At 9 a.m. every morning on the button, I take a healthy poop. I just wish I could wake up before 11. In honor of where we are. In honor of where we are. So
very nice.
I
Well
kept
done.
it semi-clean. I could have, threw a couple extra words in there, but I don't think it was necessary. And, in honor of this great place we're sitting in.
It's delayed, but there you go. There you go.
Nice.
Well done.
Take a bow.
Well done.
Now, I'd like to outro, if I may, Mr. Joe DeJesu.
Hang on. Well, you got the hospitality ball on Tuesday, which people can still get tickets for.
That's Monday.
Monday.
That's
Monday.
This Monday. Today's Friday.
Yep.
Saturday, Sunday,
Mike
Monday.
Del Judas,
3 days from
Big
now.
Shot, the Canes,
Math.
the whole that's Monday.
And did you say they can still get tickets?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh,
I
wow.
think the tickets
Where is it
are-
being held again?
Crest Hollow.
Yeah, that's
Crest
where it
Hollow
usually
Country
is.
Club.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow, very nice.
Yep. So we've been doing the Beatles dinner shows. So look out for that. We're
Okay.
doing,
When's the next one? You got one on the
The
calendar?
next one's not going to be a Beatles show. It's going to be a 70s show on July 20th.
Cool.
And that's going to be at Restigio's in Patchogue.
Patchogue.
And then we're going to get the live shows going back again from the house.
Joe DeJesu Music on Facebook, right?
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah.
You put out any originals lately or what?
I haven't recorded. No, I haven't had time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I want to get back in the studio. I want to start writing again, doing some of that, but haven't had time.
All right, cool.
Soon, though. All my stuff's on Spotify and, YouTube, all the
Right.
original stuff.
A question a lot of my younger audience wants to know with musicians with me when it comes to the thought process for writing songs. Are you one of those guys that can say on a Monday, Thursday after work, I'm going to sit down and write a song? Or do you have to be
Nah, I feel like
influenced by something, and then you talk into a recorder or jot down ideas on a napkin? Or how does the process work for you?
Yeah, for me, it kind of just has to come to my brain, whatever I'm doing. If a melody just hits,
Is
then
it the
I'll
melody
get
first
into-
or lyrics first, or it could be either or?
Yeah, for me, it's always melody first.
Always melody
Yeah.
first. Do you ever start a song? Sorry, start a
right.
song, run into a brick wall, put it on the shelf for time, and come back to it later.
Yeah, I have about 70 unfinished songs.
70?
Oh, a lot.
Wow.
A lot. Yeah, and they're all on my phone, and I'll go back to it one day. And then
That'll-
sometimes I'll just get lazy and just combine two of them that don't make any sense together. And
Why
then
not?
You do it enough times, it starts to sound good, and then...
Abbey Road medley, scenes
Right.
from Italian restaurant.
Right, exactly.
These are questions I forgot to ask on my show earlier, so I leaked them over here.
That's
too.
cool.
Oh, so I appreciate that.
So that'll be on the Joe DiGesu box set after you're dead and buried.
Yes,
right?
yes,
The-
posthumously. Yeah.
Paul McCartney calls you up and says, "Come on the stage with me tonight and play one song."
What a great question.
What song would it be?
Oh, man.
That's a great question.
Well, I'd wanna
Because
pick
I know you're a big Beatle guy. So.
Well, I'd want to pick a long one.
Yeah,
You
true.
know?
The Long and Winding Road?
No.
Revolution 9.
Well, he's going to sing it, so I'm going to back him up?
Doesn't matter. Whatever you want.
Hey Jude?
Probably Hey Jude. I mean, as many times as I played
Hey
that
Jude.
song
That
before.
can go 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
plus we'll be singing with him,
Yeah.
throwing the harmonies, let him sing,
Okay.
throwing the
And
harmonies.
his
Yeah.
voice is getting a little weak. He needs help.
Well,
Oh yeah. It's
80 years old.
yeah.
I mean,
when
God
he-
bless the guy.
Right, he's the guy that couldn't take a
You were
piss
the
in
one
your story.
You were the one guy that you were the one guy that didn't make the concert last week.
I know.
I saw you make a comment on that.
How do I
the
not go?
What am I, the only guy that didn't go?
I feel like a terrible fan.
I didn't go either.
Paul doesn't need my money. He doesn't need my $800.
I hear
whatever
you.
it is.
Right. $800
Yeah.
to sit in the boondocks.
Exactly.
2,000 to
Exactly.
be closer to the front.
that makes me mad.
It really should make you mad.
Yep.
I don't think it has anything to do with him. I don't know. I don't think they said
Yeah, but they.
It's Live Nation's fault.
But I wish they were involved because maybe it wouldn't be that way.
If he were to say, "Hey," they probably would listen to him.
I remember. I'm sure you both do, or you probably don't because you're so young. 30 years ago, when the Eagles got back together, tickets were $100.
Hell Freezes Over tour?
Yeah, and everybody was freaking out over paying $100 for that.
I remember
And
that.
the Eagles were saying, "Well, we've all had successful solo careers, so you're getting almost like so you're seeing 4 people in one show, so that's how they justified it." Now I'd be happy to pay $100 for good seats.
I got one better for you. When the movie Scarface first went to the theaters,
Yeah.
it was $4 to go.
Jeez.
Everybody freaked out. I can't believe it's $4 to see this movie. It better be good.
Right.
What's a movie cost now?
Right. Well, I went to a Met game in April, and I went on the website when the lockout was still going on. I know you hate baseball.
No, I hate. Well, yeah.
But there was still the
It's like
baseball.
watching paint dry.
There was the lockout during the winter. It looked like the season. Actually, the season was delayed by a week, but there was a point during the winter where it looked like the season might not happen. So I bought tickets during that time, and I got these great seats, about 20 rows right behind home plate, but they were only $100 because they were just trying to sell tickets. That's probably the only time I could you can get them at that, and it's even weird for me to say that's a low price, but in baseball and concert standards, that is a low
These days,
price.
yeah. Well, there's inflation. There's
But
it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. It's really ridiculous what the prices are, and it makes me mad because I would love to go to more concerts. I would have loved to have gone to Paul. I didn't go either, and I missed Springsteen jumping up on stage with him.
Right.
I would have loved to have seen that.
Yeah.
Springsteen, one of the best concerts I've ever seen. I don't know if you guys are.
I've never seen him in concert.
Oh my God.
I'm going to have to chime in on this one. I lived in Asbury Park, New Jersey.
Oh, really?
When I was 19 years old. And I moved into a big house with 2 friends selling solar energy. The tax credits were good in Jersey at the time, so we did it on Long Island. It transferred over to Jersey with the tax credits, and I moved in on a Sunday. My 2 roommates said to me after I moved in, like 6 in the afternoon, "Hey, there's a bar around the corner. Let's go have a beer and celebrate you being here." So 8 o'clock at night, we finally walked 30 seconds around the block to a place called the Stone Pony.
Oh.
I never heard of the Stone Pony at this point. I'm 19.
Really?
Never. This is before cell phones. The place holds 400 people. There were less than 40 people in the place on Sunday night. Springsteen walked in with 2 musicians, a drummer and a bass player. I'm not even a fan. There was one payphone in the back of the room, and a friend of mine, Sammy Hightower from Bayshore, the biggest Springsteen fan ever, still to this day. I get him on the phone. I call collect. And he's like, "Why are you calling me collect?" I go, "Bruce Springsteen is in this bar I'm in where I just moved to New Jersey." Keep him there. I'll be there in 3 hours. Yeah, all right. Like I have the, but there he is on stage playing for an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes as a trio to 40 people.
Wow.
I'm not a fan, but I couldn't help but to,
of course,
be really.
No.
Like,
I'm sure he loved it too. He probably.
It was just. It was
He
amazing.
does stuff like that all the time.
I've never seen a big full production Springsteen show, but I got to see him with 40 people at the Stone Pony.
First time I ever saw him was his first reunion with the E Street Band, 1999. I had ninth row center. I'm telling you, it's show like I've. I mean, you talk about whether the music's good or bad, or that's a whole different argument. But as far as a show, a rock concert, I never saw anything like it.
He mixes up the set list a lot too, right?
Every night.
Yeah.
I mean, he has that band learn pretty much everything in his catalog, and he just called. You see him at the end of a song. They look over at him. He calls out what's next. It's I was
and he
completely
plays for a long
blown
time,
away.
right? Like three.
He did.
3.5 hours.
He did about 3. Yeah, he did about 3 hours when I saw him, and I've seen him numerous times since. I mean, and there's lots of great concerts. I'm not saying he's better than McCartney. I'm just. It was just amazing. It was amazing.
The fact that McCartney called him up to do Glory Days was actually. I don't know if you know where I'm going with this. When Paul calls people up, they normally do a Paul song or a Beatles song or whatever.
Right.
That showed a lot of respect.
Absolutely
to do a blues
right.
tune, you know, because I remember I've gone to see Paul where Billy came, and Billy got on the piano and sang some harmonies, and they did So We're Standing There and
Right.
Let It Be, and but they didn't do any Billy stuff, which they should have.
The one time I saw Billy Joel live with my wife at Madison Square Garden was about 4 years ago, and Joe Perry from Aerosmith.
Nice.
I thought it was that he fell off the stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they did.
Oh,
but
that's
they.
right.
But he played. They played before he fell off the stage. He played "Dream On," and Del Judah sang it.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And it was fucking cool.
Yeah,
it was really
that
cool.
song.
Mike kick. Oh, he
was
kicks
really
ass on
cool.
that song, man.
Almost as good as Jill Joy with that song, which she did in this
here.
room.
Yeah, that was a great day, man. I love to have those guys back.
I know you did.
They sounded great. I mean, it's so hard to perform in this, in this setting with full band
And Jill's a hard person to please when it comes to hearing herself sing.
Oh, really?
So she couldn't really hear herself that well in here, and
so
she
sounded
had.
great.
But yeah, I knew it, and she cracked in a couple of songs that she sang, and I took a video, and she's like, "Please take that down." So I took it. I go, but now you got to get Tony to take his down.
What, was she not happy with the sound on those?
No,
on
her voice cracked in one of the songs she did. Not "Dream On," another song she did.
Oh, I'll take it down if she wants me to take it
No,
down.
this
It's cool.
was 2 months ago. It's done. It's done.
Oh, all right.
I took down my video, and that. I didn't tell her. You got to tell Tony to tell him to take it down too. I was thinking it, but I didn't say it.
Now is she mad at me that she won't come back?
No. She has no idea that you even have it up.
Oh, all right.
So-
Don't
so-
tell Jill. Don't anybody
that-
say anything.
If Danielle Benya's listening, don't tell Jill what we just said.
I'm gonna.
And Lynn says Andy Dell and Courageous Cat with Henry Good and Mark Narcisse. All right.
You too.
Yeah, Brendan Burt said he was dragged to see U2 against his will, and then has seen them 10 times since. So it made him a fan.
I've never seen them live, but I've heard that they're one of the best live bands ever.
I've heard that too.
They're one of those groups that I never fully got into, but I like a couple of their songs.
Me too.
That's kind of my
But a close friend of mine, in 1981, went to Malibu down in Long Beach, where U2 did their first
Their
U.S.
debut show.
concert. Yeah,
Really?
An
buddy of mine was
LIR
there.
radio show.
Yes, that's exactly right.
WLIR
Yeah.
radio show.
Yep. All right, with that, let's get one more song. We're already going over, but we're going to get one more song from Joe, and then we're going to hightail it out of here.
I have
Is that all right?
nothing planned.
You what?
I have nothing planned.
That's cool.
That's the best way to do it.
What am I doing?
What do we feel like having you do?
Yeah.
I
know. I feel like tuning. That's one thing.
I say we go with another Beatles tune because it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Sure. We want to start off the weekend on a high note. It's going to be a great weekend. Something fun, like All Together Now.
Something fun?
Like All Together Now.
Well, that's a sing along. So
No,
if you guys say you're gonna sing along.
Let's skip
They'll
that.
sing along at home.
They could sing along. No, but he's not going to be happy hearing himself do it. on
I'm
his
looking
own.
through you.
That's
oh
a
my
good.
God. That's.
What's wrong with that?
That's
Oh, is that high?
Bathroom window.
Oh, all right.
Bathroom window.
That's like 40 seconds.
Do the extended version. I've got versions of Little Help from My Friends.
The Joe Cocker version.
No,
I'm
the
kidding.
Ringo version.
Whatever version you're comfortable doing.
Okay.
That's a good
All
way
right.
to wrap it up, I think.
All right.
Oh, hold on a second. Let's do this right. I got to capture it too because fair is fair.
Do it right? Yeah, let's get it on a phone instead of professional cameras. What are you
Well,
talking
you do
about?
that as well.
Oh,
You do
okay,
that as well. But you going to intro this or should I?
Ladies and gentlemen, playing the Beatle classic with a little help from my friends.
Call me Billy Shears.
Ladies and gentlemen, Billy Shears.
What would you think if I sang out of tune? Would you stand up and walk out on me? Lend me your ear and I'll sing you a song, and I'll try not to sing out of key. Whoa, I get by with a little help from my friends. I get high with a little help from my friends. Oh, I'm gonna try with a little help from my friends.
I guess no harmonies from you guys though? Doing great without us.
What do I do when my love is away? They worry you to be alone. How do I feel by the end of the day? Are you sad because you're on your own? No, I get by with a little help from my friends. Get high with a little help from my friends. Oh, I'm gonna try with a little help from my friends. Do you need anybody? I want somebody to love. Could it be anybody? I want somebody to love. Would you believe in a love at first sight? Yes, I'm certain that it happens all the time. What do you see when you turn out the light? I can't tell you, but I know it's mine. Oh, I get by with a little help from my friends. I get high with a little help from my friends. Oh, I'm gonna try with a little help from my friends. Do you need anybody? I just need someone to love. Could it be anybody? I want somebody to love. Oh, I get by with a little help from my friends. Oh, I'm gonna try with a little help from my friends. Yes, I get high with a little help from my friends. Yes, I get by with a little help from my friends. A little help from my friends.
Well done. Oh, yeah. And you held the note at the end.
Well, I had to.
Yep, whatever it takes.
I was gonna get loud.
Whatever it takes.
Well done, my man. As always. Long Island's own Joe DeJesu.
Thank you guys. Thanks for having me on both your shows today. Guys.
Absolutely. It was
a lot of fun.
So good to have you back in this room, man. I missed you.
Be back in this room.
Absolutely. Mark Klein, Blues Warehouse,
Yes,
Joe
sir.
DeJesu, Joe DeJesu Music. Thanks for joining us. Everybody have a great weekend. Thanks for sticking with us as we
And by the way,
the end of the show.
Tony Walker, Governor's Comedy Club podcast.
Thank you, pal.
Thank you, sir.
And we missed you, Sally, wherever Sally is today.
Where
we
is Sally
missed-
today? 2
Sal-
shows in a row. I didn't get to meet Sally.
I know, yeah.
That's
It's true.
starting to tell me something.
She doesn't come in on
Mark
Fridays.
Klein's coming. I'm not coming.
That's what she said.
I
actually.
figured.
Yeah.
All right, I get it now.
No, it's me. You're coming in. Forget it. That she doesn't want to be near me.
Gotcha.
So we're out of here. Thanks again for sticking with us. Enjoy your weekend. Again, govs.com. Go see a great show. Tomorrow night we'll be in here live from Governor's Green Room. We'll be in here. Eileen Bremis is playing the club. Mike Keegan will be hanging around. I believe Fat J is playing in here. Yeah, Fat J will be around. John Butera, Emily Santosis, Dan LaRocco, Joe Cravella. I'm sure they'll all be coming in during the show.
Sounds like a good lineup.
It's a great show. We do it occasionally on Saturdays where we get people who are performing on any of the stages to come in before, after their set. They talk about what what the room is like, what the vibe is like, and the comedians, they'll talk to each other, they'll talk shop, they'll pick on each other.
And by the
It's
way,
a great
I
time.
heard a rumor, possibly Chevy Chase and Bill Murray.
Chevy Chase, Bill Murray, and Bruce Springsteen will be in here.
That's the rumor that we're starting.
Yeah, you never know.
It's a good rumor to start. Let's see where it goes.
That reminds. I got to tell you a funny story once we're off the air.
No, let's do
All
it
right.
now.
No, I can't do it
All
now.
right.
Everybody have a great weekend, and we'll see you tomorrow night. See ya.
Thank you, Tony.
Thank you, pal.